would like to introduce.
Hello, everybody. It's your local piece of shit here, the vital message, Caduceus. How's everyone doing? How's it going, Uncle Guns? Shift, Astute Trends, David Little, the Deacon, Jim D, welcome to the show. Arabian, good to see you. Let's get on with the show. We have a very special guest. I've been gone for a week. My joke answers, I was at Sizzle. That's where I met this guest. I'm about to introduce him. Everyone, Tony Bruno, T21 Surfer. How's it going, Tony?
Good, man. Thanks for having me on, bro. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's good to see you. Having a great day?
Great intro.
Yeah. Hey, it was good seeing you at Sizzle. You were really going hard.
Absolutely, man. You know, I was dancing, so it's tough, man. It's a lot of work, as you know. So
it's a lot of work for sure out in the hot Miami sun.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, let's go into the interview right here. What got you started here on YouTube?
Oh, man. You know, it's funny. I'm glad you asked me that question because if you would ask me this literally 3 years ago, I would have told you I would have never done this. But if you go way back on my channel, you'll see that I did a series of love letters of all things that can you imagine? So let me give you the quick story. I was actually looking for a place to hide something, and above the ductwork came down this pack of letters, like they fell all over the floor. And it was this whole story. I called the story Sweet Ramon. And it was a story about a guy who was living in this house back in the 70s. And these were letters from his wife. And I kind of put them in chronological order, and it became this beautiful story. It really was. I mean, you know, we talk about alphas and all that. It really was an alpha male story. And she wrote him all these letters, and obviously somebody hit him. They were not addressed to him. So to wrap it up real quick, I did contact her, Mary Louise, and Sweet Ramon had died in, I think it was 1999, but he was on the run from the law. He was a drug dealer back in the day, and this was his hideout, my house. So they did get back together. I think have another kid. He died, and it was kind of cool at the end because she wrote me a letter and said that she still wears their wedding ring till this day. So she's in her, I want to say she's in her late 70s. So that was how I started, man. Real simple.
So you were sharing the diary or the chronicles of Louise and Sweet Ramon.
Yeah, yep. Mary Louise and Sweet Ramon. Actually, it would be, they're from like Louisiana area. So it would be, they would say Ramon instead of Raymond, Ramon. I didn't know when I started, so I called him Sweet Ramon because that's how she addressed him, as Sweet Ramon. So it was kind of cool. But what I found out after I published like 2 of the videos, that when you find something like that, you know, it's actually copyrighted material. So you have to have the person's permission. And after I talked to her on the phone, I told her I'd do it in a tasteful way. Like when she was, I'll be straight up. I mean, when she was she had, in one of the letters, it said something about she was having wet dreams. And I had said it, I had placed it like the kind of dreams girls have. So I made it tasteful, and she loved it, shared it with her family, and family reached out to me. So it was cool. That's how I started, man.
Oh, that's a great story right there. I didn't realize that like the personal information like that, the letters were copyright. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So how hard was it to reach out to Mary Louise?
Actually, my mom found her. Yeah, did some
Oh, wow.
research. Yeah, my mom found her. I did get her number through a relative, told him the situation and talked to her. At first, she was reluctant, but then she said, you know, that's okay. I said, I'll do it. She saw the first couple of videos, and I actually sent her the letters back to her too. So.
Oh, that's nice of you. I'm pretty sure she was expecting you to start with the kind of dreams ladies have first.
No,
Just to
no,
get the
that was, I
content.
don't remember. It was actually, it's a 5-part series. So, and they're only like 10 minutes long each video. So, and I was surprised. I mean, I think the first one got like, you know, for somebody that has 20 subscribers to get, I think 1,000, 2,000 views. I don't remember. So,
Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good right there.
yeah, it's a whole story. I mean, you know, somebody could watch the whole thing in about, realistically, and, you know, in about probably less than an hour if you watch all 5 videos. But go back and check it out on my channel. The first videos that I uploaded. Actually, my channel, you look at my channel, was from 2006, I think is when it started. But I used to have all my martial arts matches on there, and I took all that off.
They can't see how much of a winner you are, I guess.
Yeah.
They don't want to get intimidated, or like you forget the leather jacket when you don the gi.
Mm-hmm.
You just
Absolutely.
So how has your content evolved from sharing personal letters to the interview style that you have today?
Well, I mean, I started doing some live streams. Of course, I want to give a shout out to Primal Man, not Primal Studies, but Primal Man. My OGs, Primal Man and Gonzo. You know, I look forward to doing streams with them again, you know, when they can. But I think after getting comfortable, you know, knowing that you're broadcasting to people, you know, a lot of people can't do that. And like I said earlier, it was something I didn't think I could do. But it took me a while to get comfortable. And then my brother had said, hey, you know, why don't you do some interviews? And I said, you know, I've never done that before. So I reached out to a couple people. I'm trying to think who my first one was. I can't remember. But when I started, and 21 Studios would republish, you know, my interviews, and I was surprised at the kind of feedback that I was getting. I mean, I look at like my one I did with Alpha Male Strategies, and I think after 2 months, it had over 100,000 views. I think it's close to 400,000 views now on 21 Studios. 300,000 or 400,000. I think it's maybe 300,000. But I was a little surprised. So for me, you know, doing something like that, I don't have a perfect speech pattern. I just talk like I talk. I don't change the way I am for anybody. So maybe some of that resonated with people, like just the average guy talking, you know, they could picture themselves doing interviews. So, and maybe because I am a little bit naive in the interview game, I was able to ask questions maybe that other people wouldn't ask, you know, like a professional. Mm-hmm. So I had fun with it. I mean, I've done, you know, geez, I'm just trying to think, everybody from Jesse Lee Peterson to Elliot Hulse, we can go down the line to John Somnez, Steve the Dean Williams, Alan Roger Curry, of course, Dr.Shawn Smith, just a lot of them, man. And people were liking it, so I continued to do it. So, as you know, I mean, you've done it. It's you know, the first couple times, it's a little nerve-wracking. It is. So.
Yeah. I think like what I've figured out is I try to keep it. What's on the panel is on the panel, and what's in the chat is in the chat.
Yeah.
And my job is more for the panel.
Yeah.
There. I have an answer with I have an opinion on this, but I'm going to ask you, what do you think is your best trait that makes you a good interviewer?
I think asking a question, I think when you get the response and they pause and say, that's a great question, or I've never been asked that before. Getting that out of somebody, it's like hitting a home run. It really is. To me, it is. To make somebody stop and think, I think that's when you nailed it.
So it's more the preparation coming up with your questions.
Yeah.
I know you take a lot of notes. I'm sure you got a lot of good questions in there when you start your shows.
Yeah, I think that. Well, to me, like when you take notes, my notes are more for reference. It's not an outline for an interview, because I think if something is too scheduled, it seems contrived, and not talking about it beforehand, I think, is important. So you want things, to me, I want it to be organic. I don't want to prep somebody on what we're going to talk about.
Yeah. Like you weren't ready to talk about when we met in Miami recently, right?
Yeah, no. We'll
of course. Yeah, I think I saw Shift there, but he was a little too busy.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of the guys there. So
a lot of the guys there. Yeah. QB couldn't make it. He was in Guatemala, but but it was a party out.
Didn't he take the red eye over on Sunday night, I believe?
He was there for the Monday.
Was he?
Event. Yeah, he was.
Great.
Yeah. Well, if you allow me to interject, I actually think your listening skills make you a good interview. You let people talk and fully express their points, and that's something I don't see from a lot of interviewers, even in the mainstream, who's get paid to do it. So. Yeah,
I appreciate that, because it's funny because, like I said, my biggest interview ever is on 21 with Alpha Male Strategies, and if you look at the comments, a lot of the comments just say you actually let him speak. So that's right in what you're saying. Absolutely, I think it's important. So when you can ask a question and somebody can talk for like 10 minutes, you asked a good question.
Yeah. And do you also think that like the words are more powerful when they come from the source's mouth instead of yours as the interviewer?
Absolutely, man. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's fun. You're doing it. It's fun. It really is. I think it's like I said, when you can get something out of somebody and they have to pause, to me, that's gold right there. For somebody who's not an expert, I don't consider myself an expert in any way, shape, or form when it comes to interviews. But it's something that, again, I did. Now I will make a comparison. Like, it's a whole different ball game when I was doing the interviews at 21. You talk about nervous. I was nervous. When you sit on a set with 3 cameras, lights, and the guy goes 3, and he points at you, that's a different animal right there, my man.
Yeah, let's explore this angle right here. Let's explore this animal. Let's study it for taxonomy reasons. Mm-hmm. So what is the difference between being on stage with the person right there versus over StreamYard?
Well, I'm in my home right now. I'm comfortable, and we're on a screen. There's no, it's not as personal. But now when you're sitting there beforehand, knowing you're about to be filmed and everything you say or do, it's going to be for time, man. This is going to be seen forever. Now you can have a cut, absolutely, but it's a different animal. It's totally different. I didn't think it was going to be right at the beginning, but I remember the first time I sat down, I think it was Steve the Dean Williams, and Steve was all chill and hanging out, and I'm like, man, this is tough. I felt nervous. I really did. It's not something that I was used to. So, but I like stepping out of my comfort zone. So after I did the first one, and then it's also different too. When you know somebody. So I know Steve, I've hung out with him a few times at 21. So probably, I think 3 times, maybe 3 or 4 times. So that wasn't bad. And like Jesse Lee Peterson, I've hung out with Jesse too. So that by the time I got to Jesse, that was comfortable.
Yeah. Does it get easier over time being in studio when you're used to the kind of how it works and what kind of questions you want to kind of hit your panelists with?
Yeah, I think now it would be, and I use the same type of outline. I do have some questions. When you're doing there, it's more about the convention. So you want to pull as much out of them as you can. In other words, on their experience, what they talked about and their experience at the 21 convention. So, but I also have my notes like I have right now, which enables me to, again, not have an outline, but just have a reference. So
yeah. Right now I got 4 bullet points that I'm just going off of, and this conversation could go off the rails in a good way, and we can explore lots of different avenues.
Yeah, man.
So who's your favorite person to interview? Like, where it just seemed the most chill, energy bounced off, and a lot was learned.
I'm going to say my favorite was Jesse Lee Peterson.
Yeah, without doubt. What made him so great? What made him amazing?
Amazing. He's just a very genuine guy, man, and you can ask him anything. It's just very. I feel very comfortable with him. Again, I spent a lot of time hanging out with him, so it just was. I think he's just a charismatic person, and just great conversation. I don't even know how to explain it. It's just very easy with him. And I'll tell you what. Now, also, I mean, realistically, think of when you're interviewing somebody. There's interviews, and I'm not going to say which ones they are, but I'm like, oh man, this is fucking tough. This is not easy. You might guess a couple of them. So,
I'm sure you can guess. I've had a couple myself.
Yeah.
Where I'm thinking, ooh, I don't know how to handle this.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm already in like, tell me about your mother territory, and I didn't try to ask my way into that.
Yeah.
Do you ever have times where people are like more open than you expect in an uncomfortable way?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
There was a question. There was a question that I asked. I came up with probably well over a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. And I've asked this question. I've even done, I think, 1 or 2 streams on it. And the question was simple. A lot of people never explored this. I love when you say that, let's explore this. But the question I had that I came up with was how the manosphere has failed men. And to me, that was the question of the year last year. It really was. That's not something that people talk about. We always talk about what it does for you, but how has it failed men? And when you ask like somebody who's part of this umbrella that question, man, it gets the gears turning because they're caught off guard, because everybody does want to help. Think about it. But that question, it can be a loaded question. If you really think about it. Think about if somebody was to ask you that. What first thoughts would be, okay, you have to talk about somebody, underneath this umbrella they're doing the opposite of helping men. Okay. So that was one of the best questions I came up with.
I like that question. It kind of forces people to think of other creators and take shots.
Yeah. And it's not always taking shots. I mean, you can think about it in general. Let's say I was to ask you that question. How would you answer it? Got to pause, man.
I do have an answer for it. If
Yeah.
you asked me that question, I would say that there's an obsession over large-scale demographic issues instead of looking at what personally each individual man is good at.
Yeah.
So like you'll hear about the common things that women are attracted to, the common traits that are seen as masculine, instead of having the individual guy think introspectively and work towards what he thinks is best for himself. That's what I think is where manosphere fails men. They don't tell people that they can become the man. They can't be, they tell them they got to become a particular archetype of man instead of saying they can be the optimal version of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's along the lines of groupthink. And I think you're spot on with that. Everybody wants to be a part of a tribe. Everybody wants to be a part of something. But when you're in a group or a tribe, your voice is still important. People don't want to be, I mean, I won't say names, but I see a lot of people agreeing with things. And I'm like, you don't fucking believe that. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, no way.
But they'll say it just to be part of that company. I don't want to be part of somebody's company just to agree with them. That's, to me, what's that? I mean, that's just another sheep. Is all it is.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
Guys should be able to speak up, and we get, like I said, when I was introduced to, we'll say, the black pill community. At first, I wasn't quite sure what to think, but I realized these are some of the most genuine guys I've met. Like, just friendly, want truth. There's a lot of, like any community, there's a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? There can be bickering or whatever, but I think everybody still has the same goal. But I found it the community that has the least bullshit. There's bullshit in every community.
Oh,
but
yeah.
It's the community that has the least bullshit.
Yeah.
It really is.
Could you like compare and contrast like how you came into your first impressions of the black pill versus what you found out, the reality when you dove into it a little bit?
Well, I mean, to me, back in, we'll say 2000, I'll say early 2017 is when I really started looking at this type of content, and it was all red pill stuff. And watching the red pill morph into fakes and phonies and frauds. God, I hate those words right now, but man, it's just full of them.
I like what Shift says. He says charlatans.
Yeah, charlatans, exactly.
I like that word.
It became a money grab rather than helping men, And so when I came across the black pill community, I could see that they were promoting, to me, the original red pill truths. And to me, the black pill is really just the original red pill. There's really nothing different. It's just the red pill has been, I don't want to say, it's been taken mainstream. And what did Shift say? What did Shift just say? The charlatans?
Yeah, he calls them charlatans.
It's been bastardized, is what it has. It's been bastardized for money and profit. It's no longer about helping men. Yeah. Especially when you get guys like Rolo saying, like, when he did that video, like, if you don't go along with him, you're killing guys. What a fucking asshole when he said that. Because you're not doing what he says. That's just a fucking asshole. I mean, I can't even, if I could think of other words, just the fucking gall of somebody saying that, and that's what a lot of these guys got to look at. The fact that somebody is saying that, so there are no leaders here, man. There are no leaders.
Yeah. You explained your current stance on the black pill after you've assessed. Did you go in with an open mind, or did you have like a preconceived notion of what it was?
I had no preconceived notion. I mean, when I first heard black pill, to me, when somebody says you're black pilled, I'll say the first time I heard it years ago, that just means you're negative or you're nihilistic. And when I met a lot of these guys and started watching some of the content, I'm like, this is not nihilistic. It's just another analogy of truth is all it is. That's all it is. But it was a more proper analogy. And people are afraid of it now. And I get why. I do. Because it's interrupting income.
Yeah.
You don't have to keep going. There's truths you don't have to pay for. That's just a fact, man.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things about the black pill was, I think the original sexual attraction is not a choice. And I like to just say attraction is not a choice. And that's just the way it is, man. Male or female.
I'm on board with that.
You're not going to game your way into a woman's pants. You just ain't going to do it.
Yeah, you might be able to like wiggle your way in there, but you're not going to wiggle your way into her wanting you in her pants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think the people that tend to frown upon it are the people that don't understand it, or they're afraid to, because they've invested so much of their time and energy into this ideology of hating women, and just that whole ideology of women hating. I don't think anybody in the black pill community hates women. I think we just understand them more. I think that's just what it is. And everybody falls back too. I don't think that, you can't blame a guy for falling back. I'm guilty of it myself. Sometimes you might emote more than you should. You know what I mean? So being open, like, especially with a woman, sometimes you just got to be careful. That's all.
Absolutely. Yeah. Buyer beware in any kind of scenario. Know what you're signing up for.
Yeah.
There's a quote that you say on I got a couple quotes on your show. Let's start with, I give support, not advice. Mm-hmm. Could you expand upon that?
Yeah, man. Advice is cheap. Think about it. Think about it, man. Advice is cheap. It really is. You can't jump in another man's shoes. You can't jump in a woman's shoes and know what they're going through. You really can't. When people, I've said this a bunch of times, when somebody's going through something, it could be anything. It could be the loss of a parent. It could be a bad breakup. It could be just anything. You're not making enough money. There's so many things, but you become, I call it tunnel vision, man. You're looking down this pipe, and it doesn't matter who's banging on that pipe and trying to get to you. It doesn't matter. This is what they're seeing at that time. The biggest thing that you can do, and when I say support, is let somebody know that your ear is open to them. Like, I'll tell people, hey, you know what? I put you in my favorites. My favorites means you can call me anytime, even when my phone is on Do Not Disturb. You can reach me. And to me, that's the most important thing you can do. People want to know they have somebody. They don't want somebody telling you what to do when you're in a bad situation. I mean, think about it. Think about it when your mind is just fucked. Your mind is fucked. And you got somebody saying, you need to do this, you need to do that. There's times, I think, there's urgent times, say somebody's going to hurt themselves or something like that. But people give cheap advice, man, because they can't see into what is going on inside that person. And again, advice is cheap, man. Support is not. Support means you're going to be there. You're going to be there when they actually need you. And I don't think a lot of people really mean that when they say that. But when I tell somebody I got you or I got your back, I mean it 100%. So support to me is so important. We look at, like I had sent you a thing on that sub 5 kid.
Yes.
And we supported it. And I don't know if everybody watching now, but his Discord says RIP sub 5. So of course, when you see rest in peace, I don't know if his YouTube channel's not there. I see it's private, but a kid like that needs support. He doesn't need advice. And like Schiff said, maybe he needs actual real help from like a psychologist or psychiatrist. I don't know. But a kid like that needs support, man. He's not getting it from anywhere else. So, and I hope he's all right. I really do.
Yeah. I want to know, like, if you came upon that randomly or if you've tried to give advice before and seen it fail over and over again. Like what led you to that wisdom to give support and advice being cheap, kind of projecting what worked for you onto someone else instead of trying to figure out what's going on in their life?
I've never been big on giving people advice. But I know in my personal life, anytime I've had any issues and somebody just said, hey, I'm there for you. If you need me, reach out. That meant a whole lot more to me than somebody saying, you need to do this, you need to do that. So I think it's just from personal experiences in my life. What helped me, you know?
Yeah, that's a good way to think of it. Were there times where people just gave you advice and just pissed you off?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And everybody knows that. Think about it, man. Think of getting advice, and like who's giving you advice before, and you go, fuck, why don't you just shut the fuck up?
Yeah, usually the response is like, who the hell do you think you are?
Yeah.
You don't know
Now,
what's going on.
I said to you, hey Caduceus, hey bro, here's my number, or hit me up on an email and let's talk about it. If you need to bounce something off me, I got my ear wide open for you. That's the difference right there.
Yeah,
I mean, how would you respond to that?
I'd be like, oh, that's cool, man. I'll hit you up.
Yeah.
Let me know if I'm bugging you. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
All right. Now I'm going to move into the next quote you say a lot. You have a grievance against the term when people say that they agree to disagree, that we could just disagree as men.
Yeah, that one gets me, man. Okay, to me, when you say agree to disagree, it's like a caveat on just a simple argument. In other words, we can't just disagree. I'm not strong enough just to disagree with you. So I hate that term. I don't like saying the word hate.
So is there an ego component when someone does it where like we have to agree on, I have to convince you on something, even if I didn't convince you on the main point?
Yeah, it's funny too, because one of the first ones that irritated me, this was probably 2 years ago, that said it's Donovan Sharp. Well, we can just disagree. We can agree to disagree. And I'm like, fucking don't do that, man. Have some fucking balls. Like, say fucking we disagree. That's it.
Yeah, or say we disagree. Or you could be like, let's explore the disagreement there.
Yeah.
let's share some life experience, drop some knowledge on the listener.
Yeah, to me, it's just weak. It's a way of walking away. How do I explain it? It's a way of kind of backtracking on an argument or a disagreement. It's a weak trait to have, to say that. Now, people say it, and I don't think they understand what they're saying. So.
Yeah, I think there's do you think there's like a thing where if someone disagrees with you, there's a sentiment that they don't like you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I disagree with a lot of people. I know me and you disagree on things. Don't mean I don't like you. It's just that you're living your life, I'm living my life. And what works for you works for you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I remember a conversation that I had on Twitter with this guy, and it was actually, I'd mentioned this a while back on my channel, and it was a Donald Trump tweet, and I had just a comment, in the thread. And this guy, man, we went back and forth for a while, and the conversation ended. I remember clearly it ended to where, I said, all right, pal, we disagree on this, but I'm going to wish you the best for you and your family. And I wish the best for our country. And it was crazy how the conversation turned, man. It really was. He's like, great discourse. This was awesome. I wish you the best. We can disagree. That's great. And good luck to you. So it was a great way to end and I don't engage often on social media. I just don't. Mm-hmm. The engagement was pretty high level on that whole thread that we were chatting on. So.
Oh, it's good to hear that you got something positive out of it.
Yeah.
Do you think that you do you feel like you get anything out of a conversation where everyone agrees anyway, or do you think you only get some true knowledge when there's disagreement?
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. I'll agree with you 100%. Yeah. Echo chambers are brutal. They're brutal. They really are. Echo chambers, difference between echo chamber and people agreeing. An echo chamber to me is where everybody's like patting each other on the back, or patting, say, the content creator on the back the whole time. That's an echo chamber. And just parroting. You can have conversations where you agree with each other and still, I think agreeing with each other is, when you're having a conversation like that, I think everybody needs to add and build on the topic. That's the way it goes.
Yeah. So do you think that it'd be better, instead of just saying I agree with you, say I agree with you and I've seen it here in my life?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So add a little context to why you agree.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, life experiences are most important. That's your best lesson. Life lessons is your experiences. And how you know, there's also one thing I do say too, and maybe you've caught this. I think there's a big difference between response and reaction. A reaction is usually quick. It's usually cutthroat, and it's emotional. A response, you've taken time to think about your answer. You know, there's a lot of people who just wait to talk and don't listen. And those are usually reactions, because you can't even get your full sentence out. I've had those kind of discussions on my channel. So.
Yeah. What are your thoughts when you have a guy who's in an echo chamber and you could tell he's just parroting points of the leader of the echo chamber?
Geez, well, all you got to do is go to Rule Zero stream and you can see all that you want. I feel sorry for the guys. I really do. Because they're caught, is what they are. They look like a fish with a hook in their mouth. And they have to say what, as they're getting reeled in, they have to say what they need to say so they can get the hook out of their mouth. That's kind of the way I look at it.
So if they don't get that hook out of their mouth, they're just going to get gutted if they don't say what they want to, what the leader wants to hear.
Absolutely. Yeah, they'll get blocked. You'll get cut out. That I had said that when I was on Redman Group with Paul from the War Room and Anthony Johnson. Was it Saturday? I think it was. I had said that ask these guys the hard questions. When you ask the hard questions and you get blocked, man, you got your answer, man. Move on.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right. Now we're going to move on to more about your channel. You've had a few hits on tutorials of how to shave a beard a certain way, how to style. How much traction did those videos get? It's in like the hundreds of thousands, correct?
Well, no, I think my one, how to shape a goatee, has about 100,000 views, man.
Oh man, that's a lot of views. And I noticed that there's comments saying stuff like, thanks dad, or I wish dad taught me this. Like, what do you think a lot of guys are missing out on key milestones?
Those are the comments that literally break my heart. I swear to God. Those make everything worth it right there. To, just to know that, like, think about it. Like, this dude is going on YouTube to learn how to trim his beard or his goatee because he has no dad. I mean, how nice is that when you get a simple thanks, dad? One of the comments said, a lot of us don't have fathers, and there's a lot of comments like that. We don't have fathers to show us this. I appreciate you. I mean, what more could I ask for than that? I don't think there's anything. I really don't. And it's not my ego by any means. To me, it's like, wow, think about this, this young man who's might be in 18, 19, 21, 22, and he grew up without a dad. He has to go on YouTube to learn how to trim a beard, or, how to shave his head, or whatever, So to me, it makes it all worthwhile right there. Real simple.
Yeah, it's good when you provide value. I saw a funny one where I think you were shaving into a goatee from a full beard, where it says you turn from the college professor into the bad boy.
It said you looked like college professor to strip club owner.
Strip club owner. Yeah.
And it's funny because it's what I have now, which is called a Van Dyke. And it's because I used to have it, connected where it came down. And this is more, or an anchor beard. So it looks like an anchor is what they call it, with kind of like a pencil mustache. But that one too, I think has, around 60,000 views, which is crazy. I never thought that they would get that kind of traction, but I did a good job of, I think the most important thing in like a tutorial is like, don't dick around, just show them how to fucking do it.
You're not going to be like, oh, brought to us by this sponsor. Yeah.
Well, I did do that though. I did say you can, I'm using tactical soap, click the link down below. So
you're not blue balling them by like putting the razor next to your face and pulling it away. Be like, oh, I don't know.
Exactly.
You're just going for it.
I can't in those videos though. I do tell people, I'll leave a link down below for this Andis trimmer, and you would be surprised at I sell probably on my Amazon associates probably one a week. It's only like a $4, 2 a week. It's probably only like I think it's only $3 or $4 commission on each one. So, but to me it works. I still have the same exact one. So,
hey, that's good.
Like a $60 trimmer, $50-$60 trimmer. I've tested it, works great. So why not promote it?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, I think that's great that you're helping guys figure out how to style their beards if their dads aren't around. Like yeah. And I bet you're going to have a couple girls that are watching this text you, thanks, Dad. All right, let's move on to 21 convention. What got you linked up with Anthony Dream Johnson, and what do you do at 21?
All right, well, I knew about 21 probably started seeing it about early 2017. And I attended the first one, and I got to thank Anthony for that. I was comped a VIP ticket from Anthony Johnson on my first 21 convention. And Anthony, if you're watching, I appreciate that first time. It was different to me. It was a lot of guys. That one, there was about, I'm going to say close to 250 people at that 2018 in Orlando, which is a pretty good sized convention if you think about it. That includes the speakers too, so probably about 250 people. So I just I went there, and again, my brother was the host of the 21 report, but got to meet some guys that I still are really, really good friends to this day. So it was interesting to me because I've never been around a group of men that were so aligned. Okay. But we're talking from 18 to 80, basically, not just a bunch of young guys. We're talking black, white, Asian, Muslim, Jewish, Christian, everybody came together. And there was nothing like it in the world. I have never seen anything like that in the world. I didn't think that existed, let alone, being able to attend. And it was a good event. It really was. It was well organized. I got to meet a lot of people, and even then, back then, I'm kind of glad because I could see masks on people back then because I was kind of like an outsider. You know what I mean? So even though I was friendly, I still noticed things about, and we all know what I'm talking about, but I noticed people were like kind of not what they said they were. But who am I to judge on my first time, So, and then the next one, I was asked to be what's called a speaker liaison. So my job is to get speakers on, off the stage, get them to the 21 report, get them in front of the banners to take pictures with everybody. And also, as it grew, my part of my, we'll say, job is to basically more like a private personal bodyguard escort for guys like Stefan Molyneux and Jesse Lee Peterson. So kind of added on. There, there's a tactical team there who's just incredibly well, but just simple things like escorting people, basically an armed guard, escorting people to lunch or to the bathroom or wherever they had to go outside the venue. So, but
yeah, bad guys are no match for the leather jacket.
Yeah, absolutely not. So, but it's funny. I'll give you a quick story. The first one I did. Okay, when I got there, you get there a couple days early, at least a day or two early, and I expected somebody like to tell me like, what am I supposed to do? And nobody did. I mean, nobody told me what I'm supposed to do. I had no fucking clue. So what I did was I started getting all the speakers' names, phone numbers. I took the schedule, looked at their times, and it just went flawless. Nobody actually sat me down and said, this is what you're going to do. So I just did it, and I've been doing it ever since.
That's great to hear.
Yeah,
there. So you said that people were aligned. Like, were they aligned just by coincidence, or were they put in line?
What do you mean now?
Like you talked about the echo chambers earlier, how some guys were put in line, like they got a hook in their
Oh yeah.
What was the difference between those and the guys that were aligned at 21?
I think it was just the thirst. I mean, it was the thirst for knowledge. It really was. I think everybody was just thirsty. Everybody was and everybody had a story, I mean, I remember the first one, I sat out and listened to this guy tell me a story about how his mother and his mother's boyfriend used to beat him when he was younger, like with coat hangers, all sorts of stuff. And I say kid, he was probably 21, 22. And to see this kid break down, I mean, literally break down, it's just stories like that he felt comfortable enough to open up to me, and it's not easy. How do you console somebody that's telling you stories like that of massive child abuse, and now he's around a group of men that are like building him up, the men that he probably wished he was around. So, but everybody has a story. There was a doctor, and I mean, you're a doctor in training. There was a doctor there that literally showed me a picture of a guy that went through a breakup, shot himself, blew his face off, and didn't die. And this doctor, he was an attendee, is reconstructing this guy's face. I mean, that's some heavy shit.
Heavy, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's more like people are contributing to the conversation instead of just staying in line.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, those are the conversations in the hallways and the smoking sections at dinner, things like that. So, but it's, to talk with people that, what's funny is that everybody thinks like their story is the worst. And I hate to say it, but sometimes, man, when you hear somebody else's story, you're like, oh, fuck, what the fuck was I complaining about? What was I angry about? Holy shit. This guy's still alive. He's still breathing. I went through a fucking breakup. What the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. So that kind of stuff adds perspective when you go in there.
Absolutely. I don't, we talk about these other events or whatever, and I'm sure there's some other good men's events out there, but I'm gonna be straight up with everybody. Until you've been there, you just don't get it, man. You don't get what goes on, and you get that real life just interaction. I mean, there's a lot of guys I look for, I hope to meet everybody that I've talked to on my channel someday. I really do.
Yeah, especially Rosebud, since he told you you're white, right?
Yeah. It's funny because on all me, I take notes, man. I got something about that right here. It's a thought I had about that. Do you want to go ahead and? I don't know if everybody's familiar. I'm sure a lot of people watching are familiar with the infamous Rosebud stream, but I don't know if you want to kind of let people know about that.
I'll preface it. Yeah, there was a interesting stream where there was a disagreement between Emmanuel Godson and Bernie L about the Steve the Dean Williams stream. And the topic was about, I think the general idea of it was about speaking for other men, kind of the white knighting topic. And then we allowed Bernie L and Emmanuel to talk it out. But then Tony called up Steve and had him come on, so Emmanuel could say his criticism straight to his face. And then it devolved into a thing where Steve called all of his boys. We had the Black Pill boys. It was quite the mess, but it's definitely entertaining. And there was a part where I guess Tony was trying to make peace in the middle of it, and Rosebud said, "Oh man, we need a white boy." So now we messed around. I was like, "How does it feel to know you're white now, Tony?"
Yeah, that's why I call it PTWD, post-traumatic white disorder. I have. Yeah, it's funny because I did take some notes, and I wanted to talk about that. I mean, it ended up being talking about game. I mean, anytime game is discussed, we know it turns into an absolute shit show. And no disrespect to Steve. I love Steve. Steve's a friend of mine. But I don't agree with guys like, to me, guys like Rosebud. And you know what, Rosebud, it is what it is, my man. So, but I don't need a guy like that giving advice about women when the only women he deals with is whores. Okay? So I guess if you're dealing with whores and trying to pimp them out, get some advice from Rosebud. But when it comes to actual women, probably not the guy. Just saying. I look at the guy, I got another guy here too. And no hate to these guys. And Lucario, you're talking a guy like Lucario tells people he's masculine because he's in an open marriage. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. I think I was a little bit harsh on him and called him a cream pie connoisseur for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Give me a break.
On there. Yeah. It's kind of funny how it started because I just played the devil's advocate. But like, hey, maybe you want to not call Emmanuel weak for giving you criticism on how to present your content. And then he said, I didn't have the game. And that's what started a nice 4 hours of fun. Definitely check it out on Tony's stream.
I think it was QB Willie, man. He went in there. I don't think Lucario would have stopped even talking to him at one point, which was just fucking funny. But I think and Hold the Truth was said, how can you, when you go to bed at night and your wife comes home with another man's spunk on her. And I mean, let's get real. An open marriage is open cuckoldry. That's what it is. It's just a fucking fact. There's nobody ever going to change my mind that you can be masculine enough to let another guy fuck your wife. Are you kidding me? Give me a break.
Yeah, I'm not into that for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's all sorts of forms of cuckoldry that guys don't get.
Yeah, I mean, if guys want to say it out there as an option for them, it's not an option for me. It's not an option for most. But if they could live a happy life doing that, that's their thing.
I get that, but to me, that's not masculine. I'm sorry.
I wouldn't. If I was looking for masculine advice, I wouldn't go to that guy.
Yeah, absolutely. Could you imagine having coffee with your wife in the morning, sipping? So, how was his cock last night? Was it good? What the hell? I mean, give me a break. And this guy wants to talk about game, or I think his new book is something about
looks don't matter.
Maybe to him because he's cocked, but obviously it doesn't matter to his wife either.
Maybe he's talking about the dudes, Say,
yeah,
hey.
I guess. I don't know.
It don't matter. Like I'm giving it out for free.
Yeah, it's just amazing to me, I mean, anybody who's married out there, there's guys in the chat, I think, that are married. Could you imagine? I mean, isn't this
a nightmare?
Isn't this why people get divorced?
What a nightmare is what I would say.
What a mess.
And the thing, Like I don't. Never mind. That probably wouldn't be cool if I said that. I'd hold my tongue there. I was gonna make a joke that was poor taste, but yeah, definitely you don't want to become a cream pie connoisseur.
Yeah,
You definitely don't want to become one of those.
And then you got into the, in that stream too, we got into the, I don't, I say this, and I did get this from Jesse, that there's no such thing as racism. I had to adapt to that, not adopt it. And I adapted to it because I think there's just good people and bad people. I don't judge anybody by the color of their skin. I don't judge anybody, by their, gender. Only two there is, by the way, male and female. But racism is just good or bad. That's all there is. That's all there is. And to me, people think that when you're black, you can't be racist. Well, we proved that wrong. I don't even like the word racist. You're just a bad person. You're a bad person.
I'd rather be more precise. It'd be like you said something messed up instead of adding a label, an ism to it.
Yeah. He called you good, smart white boy too, didn't he?
It was kind of funny. Yeah, he called me an asshole too, which is great.
Yeah.
It was I started laughing at him because it was funny, man. It was funny.
Yeah, it was. In fact, I showed somebody that clip today, and it's just funny how the whole panel is laughing except Rosebud.
And then he couldn't figure out how to leave, and I was trying to help him. I was like, "Hey, you hit the red X, man. That's how you get out of StreamYard. You hit the red X."
You know what? It's people expose themselves, man. That's just it. And that's one of my notes here, right here, and it's real simple. It just says, "I have no mask, man. I don't have a mask. I am what you get right here. What you see is what you get with me. There is no mask. You kidding? I'm the same guy. If you're sitting right here in my living room, I'm the same dude. I'm the same dude talking on my channel. I'm the same dude talking on your channel. And when somebody's mask is ripped off and they're exposed, and usually people do it themselves. I mean, think about it. People do it themselves. They expose themselves. So I think if you talk to somebody long enough and you get their goat, man, they're going to expose themselves.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to be yourself than it is to be someone else.
It is. When you get that mask ripped off, man, it's painful for a lot of people. But that's what you get. You get it on a stream like that. That's what you get. I think I think a few people got their masks ripped off on there. I think Lucario was one of them. I think that Mr. 1950 was one of them. There's one of the things he said. I control my woman. And, that's why I came up with that thing a while ago where weak men control, strong men lead. Big difference.
Yeah. I also thought it was funny. He was living his high school glory days, saying that he was the type that would take my lunch money, not knowing like what kind of person I am. Yeah.
Yeah. You were a tall, skinny white boy or short, skinny.
I was a short, skinny white boy, according to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like,
I don't
think that's the case.
You ain't skinny, so
yeah,
he was wrong. He was wrong.
Yeah, it was kind of funny hearing that. Yeah, I'm thinking about opening up the panel in a second. I'm gonna go hit the bathroom. You go ahead, plug your stuff. I'm gonna drop the link in here. Also, mods, feel free to drop the Autonomy Discord. It's our new Discord where upon entry, you will have to be vetted by a mod in voice chat. We would like to have genuine users, no bots, no alts, no fakers. So check out the Autonomy Discord. I'm sure Self-Made and Shift and some of the other mods can share it. There we go. We have it up here. Now I'm going to drop this StreamYard link and hit the bathroom. And I'll let Tony promote his content.
Yeah, man. Cool. Yeah, anybody wants to find me, of course, my channel is Tony Bruno T21 Surfer. I do have a backup channel. Check that out too. And if you can't subscribe to that, just in case I ever get axed. Also, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram. Twitter, I'm just basically not that active. I do promote my YouTube channel. But on Instagram, I'm a little more active, especially last week. I've been off and I've been really hitting my Instagram stories pretty hard. So I drop, you can drop a lot of things in Instagram. I don't think you can drop in different in other platforms, I should say. So you can find me there. And I always tell people too, man, if you ever want to talk to me, you get a 30-minute free phone call. Just kidding. You can hit me up on my DMs on Twitter, Instagram. That's T21Surfer, T21Surfer. And, you know, I've had a lot of people reach out to me. It seems like in the past 3 months, I've had a flood of emails also. If you do want to email me, you can email me at reallifeletters. That's one word, reallifeletters@gmail.com. So, but yeah, anybody wants to, if you got something that you want to talk about or just get off your chest, man, just hit me up. I have no issues. You know, man, just you know, we could do a video chat if you're not shy, but that's cool. So that's how you can find me. That's how you can reach me. Check out some of my content. I do this for basically to facilitate conversations is what I'd like to say. I enjoy doing that. Like hearing people's different viewpoints, thoughts. We like to explore different topics. I've had some great co-hosts. You know, my original co-host, of course, were Gonzo and Primal Man. Great co-host was Shift. We did this stream about ego. What a great stream that was. But yeah, check out my stuff and subscribe, all that stuff. Again, you know, I don't do this for money. I do it because I want to, and you know, hopefully we're helping men, and not only men, we're helping women too. So this is not the women haters club. So
Absolutely, yeah.
And one thing we do in my channel is I'm big on accountability, man. I'm big on holding yourself accountable. Fuck having somebody else hold you accountable. Hold yourself accountable. Okay.
That sounds fantastic. If you want to find Tony, I linked his YouTube channel and his Instagram in the description here. Also, make sure to check out the Autonomy Discord. Feel free to keep plugging it as we go. We have a couple guests join the StreamYard. Swap of the music. That means we are in open panel.
Yeah,
everyone.
man.
Now, let me put up a shield. Put up the Tony shield, the leather shield. What's up, Shift and Blaxican?
Yo, what's up?
Yo, boy.
What's going on, boyos?
Boyos,
Yeah.
with the legendary Tony Bruno.
Good to see you both here. I'm going to start with Shift. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Vital Message. Do you have a question for Tony, a comment for Tony, a grievance of Tony,
Yes.
or myself?
How would, Tony, how would you spot a cult? What are the signs of a cult?
I think the biggest sign is they don't want you out. Biggest sign, you can't go anywhere. To me, that's the biggest sign. I think of the I'll call it the rational male cult. There's a prime example right there. People can say, "Oh, it's not," you know. And let me tell you, I think one of the first signs is when somebody says, "This isn't a cult." Well, you just got your answer. So, I know. When I left that cult, we'll say, you know, I got railroaded by a bunch of these guys. So sorry, but not sorry. But to me, that's the easiest way. Is when they say we're not a cult. That's what it is.
Perfect. I'm actually got QB backstage, and I'm going to put up another shield to block all the fluids, block all the chills. What's up, QB? How you doing?
I'm doing good. It's me. It's me,
All right,
bro.
good to
Yo,
see
what's
you
up,
too.
QB?
Let's get the computer out of the way.
Right.
All right, now we got Blaxican. Do you have a question, comment, grievance for Tony or myself?
What's up, Vital? What's up, brother Tony? I want to, because I mean, Tony's pretty base. I like Tony a lot, so I'm interested in like his dad, because he mentioned on IG about his dad was his birthday recently.
Yep.
And I'm curious, like your father, did you notice him like dropping red pill stuff when you were growing up?
Absolutely.
I mean, what?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
tell us a little about your dad, man.
My dad is the original red pill. I'd say my dad is the original black pill. To be honest. My dad just turned 86, and my parents are not typical. They are not the typical 81-year-old mom and 86-year-old dad. My dad still is on my ass whenever I talk to him, which I know, let's put it this way. I know my dad is healthy because he's in my shit. Okay. But growing up, I'm going to say my dad was a really good father, masculine father, doing things with us that, you know, everything from shooting guns, fishing, camping, you name it, he did it. But my dad was a hard ass. People ask me, you know, have you ever been in the service? And I'm like, yeah, I was in the Marines for 18 years. Believe me, you have no clue. Yeah. I remember my dad say, we used to, you know, there was times, you know, to do chores, or we're going to go chop wood. We're going to go, you know, we're going to go cut wood, and we're going to just do something. We're always doing something. And it was feet on the deck. I don't know if you guys know what that means, feet on the deck. Well, it didn't matter if you were sleeping or not. When he said get up, when he came back in that room, you could be passed out on the couch, but your feet better be on that floor. So, but my dad was and still is a good father. When you talk about definition of masculinity, and but also my dad, I don't want to say he has a soft side, but if you were hurting, you could talk to him. Now, you're not going to get the response that you probably wanted, but you are going to get a response from him. It's like when I was talking with Elliot, it was what I had called a heart punch. My dad was able to give me a heart punch to go ahead and wake me up if there was an issue in my life. And my dad was very good at waking me up. So, and still is to this day.
Cool. Well, I'm taking notes, Tony. Appreciate that, man.
Yeah, man.
All right. I have a question up there. Does your dad still treat you like a kid, even though you're a grown man?
Absolutely. It's funny. It is. It's crazy. You know, you always think like the roles reversed, and maybe they have a little bit, you know. We grew up in an Italian household, so I still, you know, my brothers, my dad, we all give each other a hug and a kiss. You know, I always like now, you know, my dad, before I leave, I was there on his birthday, and before I leave, I kiss him on the top of the head, you know. But and my family always has this thing to where when you leave the house, everybody walks out to your car. So they walk out to my truck, and then you still talk for another 30 minutes. I don't know if it's an Italian thing, but it is.
No, that's a Mexican thing, and also black thing too. Sometimes, yeah. I've experienced that for sure.
Yeah, you just don't leave. You just don't leave the house. You get walked out to the car, and you get talked to for about 20 minutes, and then you can leave. So, you know. But yeah, my dad is he's quite a character. You have no idea.
Perfect. All right, now we got QB Passport Flexin. Welcome to the Vital Message. Do you have a question, comment, or grievance for Tony or myself?
Tony, question for you. What kind of led you to be open to letting black pillars on your stream, coming from the red pill side and being a red pill like content creator, more or less?
Just the honesty of everybody, man. Just the honesty. Just I can see the character. Like I was talking about masks earlier. Nobody has a mask on this panel. You know, I don't care if you have an avatar. You know, I know a lot of you guys. I mean, I know what Shift. You know, I know what Shift looks like. I know what Caduceus. I know what QB looks like. You know, I know. You know, I've spent a couple hours talking with Blaxican here, man. It's the honesty. Nobody has a mask. I feel
now
like,
I do.
I feel like I've known. Yeah, I feel like I've known everybody. Like I grew up with you guys, and to me that's that's important.
Right. The reason why I asked that stream that you had where it was literally like the red pill dating coaches versus the black pillars.
Mm-hmm.
Like that really kind of gave us like a voice into the whole realm of, okay, you know, a lot of these black pillars are making valid points. Like that was a serious roast on those dating coaches, you know.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if they gave you shit afterwards. They probably did, but it's like, hey, you know, the black pillars, they made valid points with their arguments. How can you judge? And because of some of those red pillars is the reason why I kind of made my own channel, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it, like I said, you know, you guys were just, everybody that was, you know, when I started looking at some of the content, and I hate putting people into categories. I really, really do. You know, I wish there was another term for black pillars. I just wish there was, because I think there's certain, the community that I'm familiar with is like the coolest community there is.
You could just say AOD. It's your favorite, adapt or die.
I like
Or
that.
like,
Yeah.
you could always just pick and choose who you like
Yeah.
and who you don't like. You don't have to say you like everyone in a group.
Yeah. I think that again, to me, the black pill is really just the original red pill. The red pill was supposed to be about truth, but it's no longer about truth. It's telling you so many lies. It really is. And to me, again, masks, man, masks. Nobody has masks here.
Hey, I want to appreciate that you didn't lie to me when I said I saw you at Sizzle this weekend.
Yeah, well,
Oh man.
I'm glad you didn't
you
lie
didn't
about
have a mask on. I did rip your mask off.
Oh yeah, dude. I was partying. Like we were on the yacht together, man.
It's not authentic if the knees don't touch.
Yeah.
So is Andis still gonna speak at the 21?
I believe so. Yeah.
Mm.
That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I'm gonna stay neutral on that. I don't want to say I'm gonna judge somebody. I'm gonna have to judge somebody when I meet him, but I get that, man. I mean, QB, you know, I gotta be straight up, bro. You made some valid points, dude. I mean, I'm sorry, but there's, you know, when you had said, you know, if somebody offered you $50,000 to sleep with a dude, you just ain't gonna do it.
Right.
I'm gonna admit that when you were talking about in person versus like online, I don't think I would have been able to compose myself in person when he called up Dwight, and then when QB tilted him and he slammed the table. Like I might have shown a bit too much like comical face or whatever. Like I wouldn't be able to compose myself.
I couldn't even breathe from
camera
laughing so
studio.
hard. It was just like Dwight just fucking killed him. You got to interview Dwight.
Yeah,
That guy.
we'll reach out to him. We'll see if we can get him on the show someday. Get Dwight, maybe Valentino too. You never know.
It's just, you know, I mean, let's get real. That's incriminating. You know what some people will say? Oh, you don't look good enough to do that. But if you did, you would do it. It's like, I don't think so.
I don't think I would.
Nah, bro, fuck that. You kidding me? And then like game in a fucking gay club? What the fuck? Come on, bro.
I don't see the logic in that one.
I just don't. You know, I know people will do certain things for money, but I mean, don't you have to just draw the line somewhere?
I guess that line is different spot for every guy.
Yeah. You could just go to like Guatemala where like QB is going, and there's like chicks everywhere. It's like, God, it's like heaven. It's like
Right. Now, Tony, I gotta ask you this serious question.
Yeah.
So, obviously, you know, you had the red pill conferences.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a black pillar saying, you know what, don't go to any of these red pill conventions. You know, come to QB's Hormaxing adventure boot camp, and it's guaranteed fun, and you're gonna leave happy. Like, what's your thoughts on that? Now, granted, I know guys can pick and choose.
Yeah, I don't
of that
have
being
any
promoted.
I don't have any issue with it, man. I really don't. I don't have an issue with, like I said, I don't, the whore maxing thing I don't agree with, but it's not like I have any hate for anybody that does it. Hey, that's your choice. You're giving a guy an option, and that's an option for him. I don't know what to say. I don't agree with it. Let's put it this way. I don't agree with it. I made a specific point. I wouldn't agree with that for a guy for his first time to have sex. To me, I think it could be damaging. That's just me. Okay. But you are giving guys options. Now, when it comes to the convention and stuff like that, I enjoy it. I enjoy the just everybody who's there. And again, face-to-face meeting, man to man, you can't beat it. You really can't.
Yeah, I'm going to bring on a couple more guests before getting David Little's question. Let's pull up a nice little shield here. Let's start with Uncle Guns. How you doing, man?
I get the Ronald McDonald shield. Great, thanks.
And we also have a funny name, Eric Everhard. Welcome to the Vital Message.
Eric Everhard, beautiful.
You are live on the Vital Message, Eric.
I see birds chirping.
Eric, you got the birds chirping in the background. It's a wonderful late spring night. Eric, are you Darth Vader?
Are you Everhard right now?
Fuck your mother.
You all right?
Fuck your mother.
Wow,
Okay.
yeah.
It's
Right.
all right. Eric everyone, give it up for Eric Everhard.
Yeah, give it up.
Yay.
Give it up to Eric. Yay.
The internet never forgets.
I don't know if you guys noticed my avatar, but I did I wanted to do a new profile. So Joe Rogan had this out on his, I think it was on his Instagram. So I totally ripped off Joe Rogan with that pose. So you guys know the shadowing and everything. So that's where I got it.
Nice.
Oh yeah. Well, David Little is up next, the deacon himself. Do you have a question, comment,
Let me tell you,
or a
baby.
grievance for Tony or myself?
This one's a heated one. Tony, I have a great question. First of all, you are the man. The leather don clad Don, the man with the surfboard and the machine gun under the sleeve. But I'm just gonna say, would you be open to do a stream with your brother?
Would I be open to do a stream with my brother?
Like in a future time?
Yeah, I mean, I've done them before, but there's, I don't want to get into that too much. But
Gotcha.
There's some issues that have to be worked out, and he is my brother, and if it can be worked out, so be it. But you get to a point in your life to where you just don't. I don't know. You just don't. You got to stand on your own 10 toes, man.
Gotcha.
And you got to stay firm, family or no family. And that's really all I can say about that.
I feel you on that point, man. I thought I would have to be that guy to ask the the question that's a little bit, So I definitely subscribe to both of you. I definitely got some nuggets of wisdom from both of you. Where George is a little more trad in certain areas, but I definitely learned a lot from you guys. I would say y'all guys are officially my surrogate big brothers in a way.
Appreciate that, man.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you as well, man. The time you gave me on your panels allowed me to grow even into my own content creator and learning from you constantly, man.
Yeah, that's cool, man. David, you're always welcome. You're family, man.
I appreciate that.
I'm so lucky to have a great group of guys that agree on a lot of stuff and disagree on a whole ton of shit. But nobody gets butthurt. No one does. Mm-hmm. And to me, that's so important. As we said earlier, there's no agree to disagree. We just disagree. Everybody's got their, I look at it this way, under these type of umbrellas, everybody has their place. There's something, I look at like with my boy Blaxican here talking about the horoscope stuff, man. I'll tell you what, I got really deep into that in the past month. I really did. And, we had some deep discussions here, literally on the phone, man. And talking about a lot of things, personal things. And it kind of opened my eyes a bit to like personalities and why people are like they are. and so I'm interested in that more than I probably ever thought.
Yeah, it's like a lot of people hate it, but to be honest, it's just another piece of data. It's just another way of like someone else telling you this is how you are, and then you could just like look at it, analyze it, and see if it's true. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Tony's a natural, man. Like he said, he just started or whatever, but like talking to him, I learned a lot. I learned a lot, not only about astrology, but also just life, man. Having Tony as an ally, as a friend, is really. I've already seen leveled up, myself leveling up in my life. I really appreciate it.
He's great to talk to. Yeah, he's very great to talk to, and he doesn't get butthurt or anything, and it's just a great conversation overall. Like I always have a good time talking to Tony.
Yeah. Well, you could find out Tony's birth chart on the 10th if you're into the astrology. We're gonna have
I am looking forward to that, bro. I really, really am.
We're gonna have a little fun little stream with an astrologer who's gonna do our readings, and
dope.
Whether you think they're full of shit or just fun to go around, or if you think you're predicting the future, tune in for sure. Find out a little bit what the stars say about some of your panelists here. Yeah. And I gotta screen a guest here, and then we can continue talking, and then we can get into Guns' point.
There's my Joe Rogan post.
I know he just cammed up. He's all good. It's Muhammad. How's it going, man?
Hey guys, hello everybody.
What's up, Muhammad?
Perfect.
Muhammad.
I'm all good, man.
I like to so does anyone else have more on that topic, or can we go into Uncle Guns?
I want to go a little deeper into that, because I think I posted the comment that Blaxican put, and in a response to I'm not sure if it was my Instagram, or I think it was his YouTube. His YouTube video, and that comment, his response to me really hit me hard. He hit it right on the. I mean, you couldn't have pegged it any better. I mean, that's a bad word. Did I say peg? Okay.
Yeah. Hold on, man.
You couldn't have nailed it.
You were in the first one right here.
That was sus.
But, you know, I take notes, and one of the things, you know, I've got notes about that, and what people will probably notice about me is, or you haven't. Most of the time, I'm pretty chill, but I am either hot or cold. There is no mid-range for me. There really isn't. I prefer to be on the chill side, so I think people do. And I've posted this in some of my memes that I made, that people mistake my compassion and kindness for weakness. And you can push that so far until I have to just, I don't want to say let you have it, but it's like when somebody is telling me that the sky isn't blue, the water isn't wet. Well, that's when you're going to get me. So that's when you're going to get the hot side. So, but I don't think I have a mid-range. I really don't. I'm either full on or full off. There's no middle. So I don't know what Blackskin has to say about that, because he's a fellow Scorpio.
I mean, we're a Scorpio energy. We're just we're a person of extremes. It's like really no gray area. I mean, there is, however, dude, we're really passionate about things.
Yeah.
When we like you, we love you to death. When we hate you, we hate you.
Yeah.
And we'll let and you may not know it, but you'll feel it. I'll just leave it at that.
So Blaxican, is this you?
I like you, and I want you. And we can do it the easy way or the hard way.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's not, for the record, that's not me. However, I agree with his statement with life in general, but I don't agree with his way of life.
Yeah.
Okay, so you
I like booty.
I'm not going to sizzle. Never been there.
So this isn't you.
Every hole's a goal.
Oh, dude. Oh, dude. It's always brutal every time, man.
Is it you, Vital? Did you just unmask yourself? Are you showing us something?
No, it's not me. Well, that's not me.
Okay.
I'm from a small town called London. Oh.
Okay, Rick Ashley.
Oh man.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah. Any more thoughts on this topic about the signs
Well-
or whatever? Because I want to bring in Uncle Guns' question shortly after.
yes.
Oh, Uncle Guns on astrology is always my favorite. Yeah.
Like I said, I've heard about it, and I mean, I'll be straight up when it comes to like dating and things like that. When women find out, and I'm sure blacks can agree with me on this. A lot of women are into astrology, so
Yes.
women that are, when they're into astrology and they find out that you're a Scorpio, they either love you or they hate you, or it's both.
Wow.
Yeah,
Or
they
it's
both.
extremes.
I might drop a birth chart and just put it on my dating profile.
I'll be.
Just say you're Scorpio. You're good.
I put on Scorpio moon. Like I'm the worst of the worst. The Blackskin knows too. It's like I got the Taurus,
Fish,
and
man.
a bull that's on the move is unstoppable. So you know.
That's great, man. The worst
Look
of the
out.
worst.
Look out, man.
So yeah, it's interesting to me. It really is. Now, I've also grown up to where, if you're a Christian guy, that's just pure evil. And anytime you look into that, you're entertaining evil and letting
All right.
life. Now,
There's witchcraft.
I'm going to disagree with that because I think that I'm strong enough as a man to know that I can look at something and look at it from a point of view to where I can say, I can judge for myself, but I don't think that certain things are coincidences. Okay, I think there's things that you can explain, you just can't explain them. But when you see something like right in front of your face, like just kind of take it in, soak it in, and understand it. So that's kind of what I'm doing with that, with the whole like horoscope thing. I think most guys think, like I say, you think it's like feminine, but I don't think it is. I think it tells.
It's just data.
Yeah.
It's just data. If guys just viewed it as data and like a different point of view, then it'll be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I can analyze my weaknesses here, you know, and then you analyze your tendencies. That's about it, you know.
Yeah, I mean, when I had to, it's funny because I said I was saying in the private chat, I had to call my mommy and ask her what time I was born. I was born at 2 a.m. So we'll find out what that means, I guess.
Yeah, we'll find
The
out.
witching hour.
Yeah.
Let's see what the urban mermaid has to say.
Yeah, I can't wait.
About
That's
that.
going to be a good one, man.
That'll
I'm
be
actually
good.
real excited about that stream.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
It's gonna fun. It'll be fun to see the chat spurg out about astrology.
I'm curious who all is getting. What do we call it, Blacks? Do we call it analyzed? Or?
Natal chart reading.
Okay.
Birth chart. Yeah.
Birth
I
chart.
think-
Natal
There's-
birth. Same thing.
There's even another section called numerology, which I find pretty fascinating. Like I'm a life path 8. I'm all about wealth, power, and infinity. And Caduceus is number 8 as well. So it's just funny. Yeah.
88.
He's a life path 8. Yeah. It's a powerful number. If you put it upside down, it's infinity symbol.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's my tats, man. I got it tatted.
There's so much weird stuff to keep track of, man.
Yep.
It's crazy.
It's a good segue to Uncle Guns.
Yeah, let's go into Uncle Guns, man.
Weird stuff to get track. Love you, Uncle Guns.
So Uncle
Love
Guns,
you,
you have a question, comment, grievance for Tony or myself.
My sign is eye protection, ear protection required on range.
That's a good idea.
There you go.
That's a good
This sign
idea.
is
There you go.
Smith and Wesson.
Great sign right there. Saving hearing right there.
No, I don't. I mean, where would any of us be without the legend here? I mean, where would any of us be? I've been here a little over a year now, and it's been a crazy ride. To kind of use Tony's language, it's been a wild wave. And you kind of have to go with the wave. You don't have a choice, otherwise you're going to wipe out. And with that being said, where with everything that's happened in the manosphere over the past couple of years, and especially with a couple of people passed, including the great Kevin Samuels, Where do you see the manosphere going in the future?
Oh man, that's a great question. I hope it leans just more positive, man. I've got to see that. Now, okay. What I found out in a lot of parts of the manosphere is that when somebody has the truth or a mirror stuck up to their fucking face, they say it's negative. Okay, that's one change I want to see in the manosphere. Is stop saying things are negative when there's just certain truths that you can't avoid. That's an issue. But I do think that the future, well, hell, here, I want you guys to go ahead and get one of these. See what that says?
The future is masculine.
Yeah. Wear that shirt. I dare anybody to put that shirt on and wear it. I dare you. You will get the most feedback you will ever get when you pop this shirt on and go about your regular day. I don't care if it's Walmart. I don't care where it is. You can get those at 21 Studios. I think he has it in the links. But get one of those and wear it. You want feedback from people? You're going to get all sorts of feedback. I don't think it's a negative. In fact, I'm going to say I've got a couple of those shirts. When I wear that, I probably get 70% positive feedback when I wear a shirt like that. And out of that 70% of positive feedback, I'm going to say 80% of it is women, without a doubt.
Interesting.
But that right
Great
there,
answer.
Yeah. I'm just curious. Would any of you guys on the panel wear a shirt like that?
Yeah, let's do
Yeah,
it.
why not? Who
I
cares?
would.
Yeah, I would.
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Okay, you want?
I usually see the opposite in California. In California, I saw the future is feminine.
Exactly.
Yeah. I like that though.
If you
This shirt.
it will. You're going to be surprised when you wear that shirt how many people you trigger.
I'll be in California for a bit in the summer, so I might have to wear that out there.
One time I wore an anti-feminist shirt, and I went to a club with it, and actually I got more positive feedback. It's like, this is absolutely insane. I was like, I kept wearing that shirt. So.
You probably got laid too. You
Yeah.
don't have to answer that. You know.
I mean, I'll tell you a story about probably been probably a year and a half or so. I was wearing that shirt, and I was actually in Walmart, and the lady poked me in the back and said some bitchy fucking comments. I told her, I said, man, you're about to lose that finger, lady. Like, don't ever fucking.
Tony, was she fat? Was she fat?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
What
There we
I
go.
find is that like a lot of this is gonna sound like harsh, but a lot of the women that get upset about these things, they're often not very attractive.
Yeah.
And the attractive ones, they either don't care. They don't care because they got their own stuff to do, and they got a lot of attention already, or they like you and they don't care about the shirt.
Yeah. It is a great message. I mean, you know, I trolled in a hard way. I don't know if you guys saw that documentary I did called Whisper Loud with the Black Lives Matter protests near my house. And when I was filming it, I was wearing that shirt, just so you guys know. You know, and there was every pink, purple-haired, whatever you want to call them. They were everywhere.
Dude, that is such a sham movement. It's not even funny.
Yeah. So, but I challenge everybody to just wear a shirt like that and just kind of see the feedback that you get, and you're going to be surprised. You're actually going to get more positive feedback than you are negative. Just a thought. So.
Yeah, I'm just going to address this real quick. If you have a question for me, the priority goes to panelists over commenters. So if you really have something you want to get off your chest, the link is in the top of the chat. And Uncle Guns, was that your question, or should I move on to Muhammad?
No, move on to Muhammad, man. I'm just glad to be here with Tony and all the fellas, man.
Hey, we're glad to have you too, Uncle Guns.
I gotta say something too. I gotta say something to Guns, and just so you guys know, Guns cammed up with me, so I know what Guns looks like. You guys might not, but I do. And he is what he says he is, my boy. So just so
I'm as ugly as I claim to be.
Yeah. Now, what's great is everybody, I know what everybody looks like, and it's awesome because, we might have avatars right now, but none of these guys have masks, and everybody is who they say they are.
Tony has rated all of our faces.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whether it's over or not.
2 out of 10 here. It's just
He's rated them all. He's.
It's just good. You know what? To me, and all you guys, that when you came up backstage with me or whatever stream, it really does show me that you guys trust me. Like I'm not screen recording. I'm not going to dox you. And to me, I salute you guys for that. I really appreciate that. It's a level of trust that I think that level of trust is earned. It's not given freely. And I appreciate all you guys for doing that. That meant a lot to me.
That's kind of the point I was making before. I mean, I think it's going to be somewhat of a rocky road. I see a lot of men waking up. I see a lot of men kind of coming around, especially in these tumultuous times. And, like you were saying, I think for the most part, they're embracing positivity and kind of embracing that masculinity of, okay, it's time to put the boots on and, and get to work. That's all there is to it. It's time to get to work and do what you got to do. And, we need, level-headed guys like Tony Bruno. We need that kind of, look at all perspectives, take in all accounts, make decisions for yourself. I've learned a lot from Tony over the year here. I learned a lot from you guys. I learned a lot from the entire manosphere. I learned a lot from the black pill. That's something I never thought I would do, but hanging out with Tony kind of led to that. Hey, have an open mind. Just sit back and listen. You don't have to be right about everything. I always have a saying, I reserve the right to change my mind when I receive new information. Mm-hmm. And I didn't, I always kind of took that saying for granted. And I thought saying something like that was kind of making me a know-it-all, but it doesn't. It makes you arrogant, and knowing it all means you admit that you know nothing. And hanging out with Tony and other guys, will point that out. It'll, going back to the ego, it'll make you realize, hey, you may not be as good as you say you are. You may not be as cool as you say you are. Unfortunately, Tony is that cool. Tony is the guy that a lot of guys in the manosphere wish that they could be.
That's a nice compliment, man. I appreciate that. One of the things I want to add on to that in this whole umbrella is that these objective truths are not negative. I think people look at as truth as not negative. Something as simple, again, I'll go back to the attraction is not a choice. People look at that as negative. That's not a negative thing. Caduceus has one of the best responses to that. Like, the world is your laboratory. Go out and explore, work on it.
Figure out what you're good at.
Yeah.
Live an optimal life for you, not what someone else tells you to be.
Yeah. Truth is not negative, man. It's not. It's free. It takes a load off your back. People think a lot of times this truth that they hear puts a load on their back. No, it frees you. It's a release, man. I mean, there was, you can, I remember, like back in the day, when I started losing my hair, I started trimming my hair. I remember taking a picture of Sting from the Police to my dad, and I'm like, all right, he had about the same hairline I had back then. So I'm like, I want my hair cut like that. And so my dad was doing that. And then finally I just said, fuck it. I'm going to just shave my head. Now, dude, I was shaving my head before, like everybody shaves their fucking head now. I was doing it way before anybody else was. And I was in shock. Now I went for, you know what I mean? Like, women have never been a problem for me. But when I shaved my head back then, and literally well over 20 years ago, I didn't realize, like, until I did it, like, how many women absolutely love it. It was maybe because maybe even back then it wasn't as popular, that's for sure. But there is no, to me, there is no, like, that's another hot or cold thing. Like, they either like it or they don't. You know what I mean? But it opened up a whole new category for me, let's just say. So, you know, anybody that's worried about it, don't worry. I guess if you got a ugly mug or not a mug, but a dome, whatever, it's probably a little rougher for you. But, you know, it can be just like, if it's over, it's over. It's like, fucking let it go. And it never bothered me 1 second. It just didn't, you know. It's just one of those things that I never had an issue with.
Yeah, but you now have a beacon.
Yeah.
Beacon that'll bring people over.
Yeah, and but it did. I mean, I was just I remember you know, I used to go down to South Florida a lot, West Palm Beach and Miami and all those places, and you know, and I was kind of like I just was shocked that women would just like run up to you like this and just want to like rub your head and grab you, and I'm like, oh fuck, I'm so glad I shaved my head, you know. Rather than having that, I don't know, I call it like a monk look or a monk ring or whatever, you know, just go ahead and fucking shave it, you know. But that's my story on that. You know, if you guys are losing your hair, I guess nowadays you can get like transplants or whatever. But if you just want to truly be free, just say fuck it, shave it.
Yeah.
Now it's in style.
I think I might buy the transplant, but
or you can rock the Patrick Stewart.
Wow.
Yeah.
Caduceus, you can get a transplant in Mexico for about $4K.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Right.
Yeah, I don't like looking at genetics of my family. There's a chance I won't even need it, but I just having that as a backup plan is good.
Well, I believe your genetics are paternal, from your mother's. It would be your mother's father. Take a look at him.
Oh, that's even better, man. That's even better.
That's your future.
Yeah.
Now, you look at
he died with a full head of hair. I'm doing
you
fine.
look at, if I was to show you a picture, in fact, on my Instagram, there's a picture of me and my grandfather. Now, he died when my mom was very young, but we look a lot alike, and he was pretty much a cue ball when he got married. So that was my future. But my brothers have hair. So, you know, it is what it is.
You drew that straw. Now we have a doctor in the house, but he's been patient lately. We got Muhammad.
Oh, nice.
That's funny. Good fun.
I'm not a doctor for the purposes of this stream. Absolute disclaimer.
Hey, absolutely no medical advice on the show.
No medical advice is rendered here.
No medical advice
Absolutely
here. That you can't say we're giving information because we're not giving medical advice.
Yeah, look,
right, Muhammad.
A
question, comment.
How's everybody?
Grievance, a greeting. Oh, we're doing well.
Grievance to who?
Hey, you got to give people the option to set off some smoke.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah. No. Look. I'm happy just to hang around with you guys, all of you here and there. Yeah.
If somebody wants to give me shit, go for it. I've taken a lot of shit, man. I mean, I have no issue with it.
I don't know. I think that the realms where I could, had to, disagree with any of you is not here actually. It's, I mean, we can have disagreement, but see, here's the thing, Tony, the good thing about people like you or most people here is that even when there is a disagreement, we don't tend to rub it into face of each other. We know when to back off, and that's the essence of a good exchange. And the problem arises, I'm happy for anybody to say Prophet Muhammad was a pedophile and God is a spaghetti flying monster. I don't agree, and that is what it is. And an atheist can say to me, I don't believe in a God.
I'm just gonna pause you. Let's not bring up like kids and stuff like that, just for the sake of the
show. Is it one of those things that gets your thing struck off? Is it? Is that also?
It's not a good topic to bring up.
Yeah, got it.
I'm just
thanks for
that. Future, like I know you're saying it like historically.
Yeah. No. I got it. Yeah, thanks for the heads up, because I don't do a lot of streams and I don't know what is good and what is right and what is kosher and what is not.
Yeah,
So
I know you're just
let
trying
me
to be
know.
historically accurate,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. But see, here's the thing: there are people who will say God doesn't exist, and I'll say, yeah, sure. People will ask me, do you believe in God? I said, yes, I do. And they'll say, why do you believe in God? And I'll tell them why, but I have no intention or even a remote desire to make them agree with me. Well, you got your own reflection. I've got my own reflection, and that is all there is to it.
I'm just
So,
sorry. I'm
yeah.
laughing at Asvaroon's comments.
That's Varun, man.
Oh man, it's just attracted to a bald.
Asvaroon, you gotta come next stream. You gotta come next stream and teach us astrology, man.
You know what's funny is I love long hair on a woman. Isn't that?
I can tell you some. I've seen Tony, I'm sure you may not find it, but like I've seen some bald women who are quite attractive actually, who keep
hell
their
no.
shit-
They gotta have some hair, man.
You're reminding.
Hell no.
You guys are reminding me of I think Self-Made had a compilation of TikToks, and one of them was the dude, the woman upset at her boyfriend, be like, "Whose hair tie is this?" He's like, "It's yours." I swear it's not, and it goes to him, and
Oh, she was bald.
she's bald.
Yeah, bald women are not attractive. I'm sorry. It's just.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, no disrespect to cancer patients or stuff, but
Yeah.
a woman gotta have
Like,
long
what,
hair,
like,
man.
what are you gonna pull, man? Like what are you gonna smack the head for good luck?
I think we got self-made, just rubbing his locks there.
There you go. Yeah,
You know,
Muhammad.
I'll tell you a quick
Go ahead. I'll
story.
let you answer
The
this.
first-
Yeah.
When I had first shaved my head, there was doctors that I did work for, and I saw him in the supermarket, and he came up and he shook my hand, and he did the double hand, like, "How you doing, Tony? Good to see you." And I'm like, "What the fuck?" You know, he's acting weird, and I'm like, "No, I don't have cancer. I just shaved my head." So.
Oh God.
Oh shit!
Jeez.
So.
Oh man.
Woody, good God.
Woody Johnson. Woody Johnson.
Woody Johnson.
Bruno.
All right. Yeah. I think of that comment like
Savage
caps that one off. We got Self-Made. Welcome to the stream. You got a question, comment, grievance for the stream.
Well, I got the smoke. Let's bring the pictures up with Sizzle and all the boys.
Let's get Sizzle Miami out right here.
Oh no!
So joking.
As you can see, we got. We found out that this was actually Tony's splooge.
The funny part is that is my laptop. That is right now.
Yeah, one of the questions I wanted to ask, I had a two-part question, one for you and then one for Muhammad. The first part question is for Tony on the Tinder debacle. How does a man get banned off of Tinder? Is it because of so much bravado? Is it the leather jacket? You got to let us know. And the second part question is backstage, Muhammad, I need you to check my right buttock because I have a mole.
No virtual examinations, no medical advice.
Oh, he wants a private consult.
So funny.
He wants a private consultation, man. You got to pay the man for his time.
You guys are awesome.
I got HMO.
So,
Got HMO.
So the question was what, Self? I'm gonna have one of these
Oh,
right now. Just
look at
for,
him.
Fireball.
How does one man get banned off of Tinder?
well,
Silence.
I'm gonna give two explanations. The first one is simply that after you meet somebody on there, and let's just say you did your due diligence and then you completely ghost. That's one way, I'm sure. The second way is to say in your profile, some of you need to lose weight. And please do not contact me. So that might be that might be another one. So I don't know. It's impossible for me to get out.
All right, just wanted to ask that question. Thank you, the
I
man.
got to pour one out for Tinder. Cheers.
All right, I'm going to go back down to chat, guys.
All right, thanks for stopping by.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, don't they not tell you what reason you got banned for?
Yeah.
They're supposed to.
So then when you appeal it, you don't know what you're appealing.
Yeah, I don't. Can you appeal it? I
Wait,
don't know.
Tony, you got banned from Tinder?
Absolutely.
That is epic.
What?
About
What happened?
2 years ago. I believe, in fact, I think myself, I know Anthony Johnson is banned.
Wow.
God, they
You know, I would like dig deeper on this, but like I got banned off of Hinge for like literally no reason.
I got banned off Tinder too, man. That shit is just rite of passage. Yeah.
Were you guys sending D pictures to girls?
No.
No.
It
was
it
just
happened. The Hinge one happened right after I ghosted a chick.
I had on my profile, I did say, like, some of y'all need to stop eating.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Like, just stop eating.
Like an incendiary comment.
Yeah. It's kind of funny, I thought.
I
You're
don't know.
just promoting fasting.
Yeah,
A
like-
fasting
That's
focused
all.
lifestyle.
I got reported because I put like I think it was like I put I'm super anti-feminist. That's it, you know.
Strong against feminism.
You know, and then in New York City, that's a big no, right?
Like a
So
step no.
yeah, so insta ban, like fucking shit.
No, it's good that you guys have closure and you know what got you banned.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me, I think it was it could have been that, or I think it was, for me, I think it was the actual the ghost effect, we'll call it.
Yeah, that ghost effect. You get some people who are like, if I can't have you, no one can.
Jesus.
But yeah, R.I.P. Tinder. So.
Hey, Tinder still has me on their service, so thanks to Tinder for not kicking me out and kicking out the leather jacket.
All I
and
gotta
shit.
say is Bumble is great, you know.
Oh yeah, Bumble is actually pretty
Yeah,
good.
I'm on Bumble too.
Shout out to QB.
I get less matches on Bumble, but they convert more with them.
Bumble overseas is actually pretty good. So
Dude, it's like, I heard it's like the lottery.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah,
Tons
pretty
of
much.
matches.
I think they're all like.
Yeah. What do you guys think of the autistic dating app that's out? Was it called Hickey?
What? There's a new app now?
I heard about that from someone. I guess there's an autism-based dating app called Hickey. H-I-K-I.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
think
I
that's
thought it was
good.
I thought it was
Okay,
cringe when we found the League. There was the one like if you're a millionaire, you can be on this, you know, and they open it up for everybody.
That one was
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna start a profile on there instead. I'm gonna just have my head tip.
I don't think that's how it is. You just need to like look away from the camera.
You can't look in there.
No eye contact.
No,
This is we're so
Oh
messed
man,
up.
that's brutal, man. I no words.
Oh, that's funny. What's it called?
I think it's
Hickey?
called Hickey. H-I-K-I.
Why would it be called that? I'm just curious.
I don't know.
mean-
It's got to stand for something.
Oh, that's-
There's another like a fucking app called Minder, like for
Oh, that's the
Muslims.
Muslims. Yeah.
Oh my God. More Tinder.
Wow.
There's a Muslim Tinder, and I'm telling you, there's a lot of interesting fucking Muslim hoes.
So
wait, a couple of my college buddies were Muslims, and they talked about Minder and how like, yeah, I met this chick off Minder.
Well, wait a minute. So if it's an Indian one, it's gonna be called Mohinder.
Yeah, no, it's like it's called Salam now, but I still call it Minder. But damn, it doesn't matter if they wear hijab, bro. They're just hoes, man.
Mohinder.
Oh man.
Shad
Nixon's commenting in solidarity here.
Shad Assad.
Tony, do you even use dating apps, or are you meeting girls organically, or
It's
like that?
I'd say it's a 50-50 thing with me.
Mhm.
You know, I kind of fade in, fade out, but it's just one of those things. And you know, I've learned my lesson on apps not to. I would never meet a woman without video chatting.
Gotcha.
Oh, that's
man,
number one.
I
Always.
just realized Muhammad changed his name to Saddam Hussein.
Saddam Hussein. Oh God! Don't forget that Chad was a Chad Rashid.
I'm gonna turn that rack into an Iraq.
I made the mistake of meeting somebody without video chatting, and
the catfishing is brutal. Yeah, if you don't do video chat. Yeah.
Yeah, and even video chat can be deceiving.
Especially that nice angle from above.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tell right there. I mean, if they're holding the camera up here, that's like, you know, just go ahead.
We're bringing on another
30
guest.
to 50 pounds, without a doubt.
Yeah, we're bringing on another guest here. We got Gauss Newton. What's up?
What's up, bro? What's up? How's it going? How's everybody?
What's up, Gauss?
Welcome to the Vital Message. Do you have a question, comment, or grievance for Tony, myself, or anyone else on the panel?
No, I was just late to the party, and then Self said join on, so I said, all right, cool.
Cool. We're glad to have you, man. Any thoughts about this conversation? We're now talking about, we strayed over to dating apps. What's been your experience on dating apps, Gauss?
I've never been on it because, well, I live in Miami, so I just walk out the door.
Oh, did you see Tony and myself at Sizzle? No, I'm just
He's really pushing that, Vital.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm just messing around.
I mean, you know it's bad when.
Like that.
Yeah, Gauss knows Miami inside and out, and he never heard of Sizzle. I'm like,
sorry, I gotta let you
like
talk.
The average gay person doesn't know about Sizzle. You have to be like a part of like the secret society.
You gotta be juiced in, and I mean.
I would imagine that if it's a secret society, they have a handshake too. Is it just?
God!
Oh man!
It's the reach around. It's the reach around.
It's the knee touching. No, it's the knee touching.
It's the
you know?
Dutch runner.
Yeah, it has to be authentic. So.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna screen another guest, but I would like to have Gauss expand upon his experiences in Miami, not at Sizzle, at other nightclubs. Let's bring on Bill Blass. Welcome to the stream. You were on the Vital Message. What's up?
All right, how you doing? I just had a question for Tony Bruno.
Well, let's get Gauss's comment, and then you'll be in next.
Okay, thank you.
How's that sound, Bill? Well, thanks for showing that you're a real person. Gauss, yeah, I'll just have you expand on your Miami thing. Like, what's kind of the general, what got you into that lifestyle, and kind of what kind of party life is that?
Oh well, it's insane. But I've been in the Miami club scene. I'm in my late 30s now. I've been in there since I was underage. Since I was in middle school, actually, I've been in the Miami club scene.
Wow.
So you're the survivor.
Yeah, and I've been all over. I've been all over the United States, all over the world, etc. And it's the toughest. It's the toughest. But if you're like a cactus, if you can survive in this club scene, then you pretty much haven't made it everywhere, including Orange County.
Gals, just a quick question.
Yeah.
Do you like the nightlife in Miami better than Vegas, or do you like Vegas better?
I like Miami better because I know everybody, and I know a bunch of owners and stuff. I really like Vegas too, though. So I mean,
who doesn't like Vegas? Vegas is awesome.
Well, Gauss, is that just more because you're familiar with Miami, or would it be better to ask someone else who's kind of like third party? Maybe they're set up in New York or something. Would that be a better person to ask about Miami versus?
Well, I mean, I've been in New York. New York's easy compared to Miami, to be honest with you.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially Huntington.
I mean, pre-COVID, it was paradise. Post-COVID, yeah, no one, it's dead.
No man's land.
Yeah,
it's no man's land.
It's funny that Miami, like, during COVID, we didn't listen, like, nowhere shut down. Like,
yeah.
I was in the club
all my promoter friends, they went to Miami. It was like, fuck, man. They're like, oh, just come over here. It's like we're partying here, you know?
Yeah. All right. So what I did, how I got into it when I was underage, is that. Is Mr. X? Oh no, I don't see Mr. X. But like, way back in the day, they've demolished this whole area. But there was this place in Fort Lauderdale called the Riverfront. It still exists, but there was like this really nice movie theater that's like 5 or 6 stories, and in the bottom they had like a bowling alley, and on the second and the third stories, it was kind of like adjacent to the clubs, to 2 clubs. So what I would do is I'd buy a movie ticket and then go into the second or third floor and then go in through the side into the club. And that's what I did when I was underage. And then I just befriended the bouncers and the bartenders. And then so when one bouncer left one club, they just go bounce at another club or a strip club or something. So even though I was underage, I knew the bouncer, so I just get in wherever. That's how it started.
Wait. So if you were in middle school, was that Two Life Crew era?
Well,
yeah,
Whoop,
Trick
there it
Daddy.
is.
Trick
Oh,
Daddy.
that's Trick Daddy too. Yeah.
Yeah. Well. Listen, I moved down to Florida from Connecticut in middle school, and so I wasn't really into that. I was more into like the Wu-Tang.
Okay.
Those kind
Shaolin
of
style.
Okay.
The Shaolin style, Mob Deep.
Who'd we lose?
I remember like even it's really not even that long ago, but spent a lot of time like West Palm Beach area. My buddy had a condo there, and getting to know all the bouncers and things like that. But it also had to do, if you look good, you dress good, you would get into these clubs where people would be waiting 50, 100 in a line, and they would just point at you and say, come on. They'd let you in, even though there was a $20 cover charge, no cover charge, and hand you 3 or 4 drink tickets. Like here, because they wanted you in there.
Yeah, and the thing is, I never understood it because a lot of people treat the bouncers like shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why? Why would you do that?
I mean, I would go to the Blue Martini by myself. I'd be down for a match, a tournament. And on a Saturday night, I would go up there. There'd be 50 people waiting in line. They'd see me. There's 2 ropes. He'd open the rope, just walk right in. People look at
you need to invite Hormaxer to the Blue Martini because he's struggling in Vegas.
Well, Vegas is tough, man.
And make sure to tell him to wear some clothes, man.
Right. Now, personally, Gus, I haven't partied in Miami in 15 years.
Yeah.
Like, long story short, I was underage at the time, and I went to college in West Palm Beach, the community college, and I had literally 7 girls with me because I was underage. So my boy, one of my teammates, was like, "Look, I'm just gonna walk in. You go in with my girlfriend and like 6 of her friends." Yo, they still wouldn't let me in, and then finally, like one of the bouncers is just like, "All right, just charge them another $10, and we'll let you go in." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, it was definitely popping.
Yeah, I remember I know in West Palm Beach there was clubs that opened up at 2 a.m. That's when everything else was shutting down, and there was a lot of people waiting. But because we were regulars there, we could just walk up. I remember the first time there was a girl at a podium, and he had the big bouncer next to her, and she had said, "Are you guys together?" And I remember our response, and we looked at each other. We're like, "Yeah, we're together, but we're not like together." And she's like, "Come on in," and that was it, man. And ever since then, we could just walk right up. Didn't matter how many people were waiting in line, just walk in.
Yeah.
And we didn't charge you the $30 cover charge.
And also, I like the Scottsdale. I mean, I had a lot of fun.
Yes.
Scottsdale. Scottsdale is brutal too. Scottsdale is brutal. Like
really,
hey, you'll get you some blondes out there.
Right.
No, but I like.
To me, in my opinion, Scottsdale and Vegas are great, but it all depends. Like for Vegas, to me, you gotta get a table. Like you're just not gonna have fun without getting a table. Scottsdale, you can kind of bar hop more.
Well, like Old Town. Where were you? Like Old Town Scottsdale?
Yeah, I was at the one club right next to the W. I can't believe I'm drawing a blank right now, but it's like the Bottle Blonde, and then there's another club that starts with an M. And I gotta look it up. But anyways,
you guys should get each other's contact. Talk about Scottsdale. Thanks for putting us on this info, guys. We could probably get a different chat like in the future where we just talk about nightclubs. Since I don't know too much about urban nightlife. Like, of course, Miami's your specialty. Yeah. I think Shift down in New York. We got some people in LA. We can get like we can pair a lot of notes here. We got Bill Blass here, who's been patiently waiting to ask a question to Tony Bruno. Welcome to the Vital Message. And what is your question for Tony?
Okay, I want to know from Tony, did you like dating before or after dating apps?
Before. Yeah, absolutely.
Why was it better? Hello?
Yeah, no, I'm thinking about it. I'm going to say just because I think what happens with dating apps, there's a higher turnover rate. Okay. Women are getting, hit up so hard on those dating apps, and that real life interaction, I don't think you can't replace that with real life. You just can't. When you meet a woman in person, if she's attractive. On a dating app, you don't know. You're really rolling the dice. It doesn't matter how many pictures she sends you or whatever she says. You don't know until you actually meet that person. So, but I think that real life interaction is what's missing nowadays. I just think dating apps are. I think it's a good tool. It's a good tool to have in your toolbox, but I think real world exposure is always the best. And I think guys need to go out and explore a bit, because on dating apps, you don't know if a woman's really attracted to you. You just don't. I mean, you can tell, through conversation. Again, and again, I don't give advice, but I'll give advice is move to a video chat as soon as possible. And if they don't do that, just move on, period. But I think that the old school way is still the best way. And I think it takes time for somebody to be able to. In fact, when I had talked to AMS about this on my interview with him, you have to be able to read a woman, and I think that takes. You use your social skills. You can kind of pick up on when somebody's attracted to you in the real world.
Facts,
versus
facts.
dating it.
And I would say, to add on that a little bit, body language to me, no matter if you're red pill, white pill, blue pill, a PUA, non-PUA, every guy should know how to read a woman's body language and to determine if she's physically interested in you just by looking at her before even saying a word to her.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably a year and a half or so ago, maybe close to 2 years, but I was out with buddies, and it was this just gorgeous Asian girl who I saw her coming up the stairs. She walked straight to me, and she grabbed my arm. She's like, "Do you work out?" She's like, "I think you're sexy." And she was at first she was reserved, but she did walk right up to me. And it's that real world kind of, I knew she was attracted to me immediately. I mean, she told me. So, people say that doesn't happen. I think that's bullshit.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
It does happen.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Gauss.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other thing I was going to add about the dating apps, like, it's been my experience that girls who I've been with, so I'd say like 9.95, like around there, they're either not on dating apps or they're on it for like a week and then they get bored of it. Because, I mean, if they go to I remember I was with this girl and it was like 4 o'clock in the morning. We were at this French bakery and I went to go put like money in the parking meter. And by the time I came back, like 3 guys hit on her. So like, I mean, they're constantly being hit on all over the place. Yeah. So I mean, it's been like super hot girls are either not on or.
I mean,
for what I know is that like a lot of girls that like, if let's say they like you or they like someone they meet off the app, they delete the app for a little bit because they have hope that it's going to go somewhere.
I mean, I'll add to my story now. Again,
do you mind if I screen another guest before you go in that?
Sure.
All right. Shade, welcome to the stream. Shade, you're on the Vital Message. Say hello.
Hello.
Hello, Shade. You're kind of a little muffled. Is that you, Shade?
Yep, that's me. Can you hear?
Yes, we can hear you, sir. All right, Tony, you can go back into your story.
Yeah. Again, now, again, we go to attraction is not a choice. Now, you're talking, what, year and a half, almost 2 years ago, and I was 57 and she was 23. So, age sometimes is just a number, man. It just is what it is. And, I'm okay with it. That's not my kind of thing, but, it was okay for the time being. Let's just put it that way.
All right. So if anyone else does, oh man, Black Skin, what's going on in your place?
My bad. Hold on.
But okay, go for it. I'd like to welcome Shade to the stream. Shade, do you have any questions, comments, grievances for Tony, myself, or anyone on the panel?
Yeah, I've got a question for Tony. I remember a while back, you had a falling out with Lolo. I think you criticized his book. So I was wondering what exactly made you kind of like rebuke his, disagree with his book and claim you're not part of. I think you mentioned it was because of polygamy. I think it was like a cult, you said.
Yeah, it's not so much as the book as it is with him. Let's just put it that way. I don't. Geez, how can I put this? There's things that he says that makes it very cult-like. Okay, like when he was saying the thing last year about if you're not in a line with him, you're killing them. You're literally bringing them to slaughter. And to me, that's just wrong. And the whole thing about saving lives, I think guys need to. I was guilty of that myself. Don't get me wrong, man. I mean, you're talking to a guy who was part of that cult, and I'm not afraid to call it a cult. But that whole term "saving lives," I'd rather have guys say, you know what, you helped me change my life. Saving a life, when somebody says that, to me, that's really deep. So you better mean it. But I don't think most guys mean it. And I'm not making light of anybody's pain or anybody's, experience that they've had. And usually, again, it's through trauma. Most guys come into this space through trauma. But the whole saving lives thing is kind of, I think that's the part that gets me the worst. Now, personally, I mean, I don't want to like looks police anybody, but sometimes you can just look at somebody and say, man, what the fuck is going on? I mean, you look at him now with his do-rag and his long hair. I mean, it's just fucking weird. I don't care. It's fucking weird. I mean, what else can I say? It's fucking weird.
Yes, so
like,
you mentioned trauma. He was in a relationship with a BPD woman. So I mean, I don't want to gaslight another man, who hurt you.
I get that. I know the whole story. I mean, I know him personally. So, okay, you've probably noticed this, that a lot of guys, if not every guy, but a lot of guys that come into his content will instantly say, he has guys programmed to say that your last woman was BPD. I was one of them. Like, oh yeah, she's BPD for sure. And that was the farthest fucking thing from the truth. What I had to go back and realize was I had to hold myself accountable, okay? I had to hold myself accountable for the things that I fucked up in that relationship. I got complacent. I got relaxed, okay? When I should have, I gave up leadership role in that relationship that I was in, okay? And to me, it took me a while to realize that it wasn't just her fault, it was my fault too. As a man, we should lead. We want, when a woman when you give up that leadership for a woman, and leadership is not a bad thing. Let's not unscrew that. But when you give that up and somebody's dependent on that, they're gone. It's just that simple. But they don't tell you that. They don't tell you that.
Yeah,
I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, you mentioned about, well, he always goes on about saving people's lives. He did accuse Alex from playing with fire and Kevin Ray Wilder.
Yeah.
He did accuse them of killing people recently as well, just because they criticized his book.
That's the video I'm talking about. Yeah, right there. And I think it was Kevin Ray Wilder. In fact, that was the first time I ever saw the guy, but I'm going to give him a lot of credit there because he did a great video on the whole Rolo code. That video was spot on. I give Kevin Ray Wilder a lot of credit for that.
And if you want to see a bit more of Kevin, he's been interviewed on The Vital Message.
Yep.
You can check out that one. Also, about that saving lives point, like I've had people like say to me kind words. What I say is like, if you're in a tough place and like you might get like a little motivation from here, credit yourself if you save your life. Don't give me any credit because I didn't do any of the actions that helped you improve your life. I just say words online. So,
bro, that's facts right there, my man. That is 100 right there. That really is. That's give yourself the credit. I love that, Caduceus, man. That's gold right there, bro.
So Tony, have you met Rolo in person?
Oh yeah, a few times.
So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, not only do I haven't met him in person, I've spent time talking with him on the phone about a lot of things. Not just stuff, just in general. I considered him a friend, not just, he wasn't my leader. I considered him a friend. I don't hate those guys. I don't hate anybody. I don't. I have no hate in my heart for anybody. But there's a time to where it's like people live off validation from other people. There was something that really hit me hard. And this was a couple of years ago when he said on a stream that, oh, great. What happens if they find a copy of The Rational Male in one of these school shooters' lockers? And let me tell you, the look on his face when he said that, he was hoping for that. He was praying for that. And I could just tell. I could read it. Why would he hope for that? Why would he want that? What would it do for book sales? Okay? Think about it. A guy goes out and shoots up a school. Okay? They search his backpack and his locker, and there's a copy of The Rational Male in there. What would that do to book sales?
Probably go up.
In a big way. In a very big way. Okay, a lot of times these guys, when they say these things, like when he says, I'm not a cult leader, he's really projecting. He's projecting that he is. And I don't care what anybody says. That's just a fact. And when you can step back and take a look, take a breath, step back and look at these fucking guys, like you got to be kidding me, right? I don't think that. Okay, I think I don't think he's a bad guy. I don't think Donovan's a bad guy. I think a lot of these guys truly, in their heart of hearts, do want to help men. But I think what's happened is their egos have got the best of them, and the ego is what kills men. It really does. Ego is horrible. So, but it's also when you meet somebody face to face, there's you get a vibe off them. You get an energy from them. And sometimes when that energy isn't right, just kind of go with it. Step back, take a look, and then your eyes will be a little bit more open. So, but I'm not going to take that away from any man, whether it be, Rolo or Cooper, any of these guys. If they legitimately saved the man's life, like from the noose or the wrist knife, as Hold the Truth says, well, man, I got to compliment you on it. But it gets to a point to where it becomes cultish, and it's fucking weird.
Wait, Tony. So you think that Donovan and Rollo legitimately want to help guys?
I think their original intention was to help men, but it's what happens is that it. You know what it reminds me of is a pyramid scheme. You guys know what a pyramid scheme is? I'm sure.
Yes. And before you explain that analogy, we have Az Varun on the stream. I would like to screen Az Varun. Is this you?
Yeah, it is me.
Wonderful. All right, I'll let you continue that analogy, Tony.
What was I talking about? Sorry.
You were saying that you think that the Rollo and Donovan are doing
it's
a pyramid scheme.
Okay, what happens is that I think I've explained this. I explained this on Redman. You have the pyramid scheme. You have the top block is Rollo. Okay. Now everybody has designed all their content underneath the rational male, the red pill, all that horse shit. Now you step out of line. Guess what happens to your audience? Your audience disappears. You start plucking out those blocks. You got guys like Ryan Stone, a lot of these guys who, even Cooper. I think Cooper has kind of bailed out on the whole Rollo thing. I don't know. That's kind of what I heard. But when your whole content is underneath that headship of Rollo, and you step out of line, well, your audience has filtered down from that Rollo. They're following you. So if you don't stay with that content, you're kind of fucked. Even though you know it's bullshit, you're kind of fucked.
Yeah, Tony, the reason why I asked you if you met him in person is because what I noticed what Rollo does is they'll make passive-aggressive comments at people who are socially awkward or because they're functioning autism or Asperger's. Yeah. It has this very condescending tone towards those people. But anyone would agree that when you see Rollo with other people, he's very socially awkward himself. So since you met him in person, could you confirm if he is socially?
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah. In fact, we were talking one time, and I think it was me, him, and Cooper, and he had said that he didn't like when people just came up and talked to him right in his face. And we were kind of joking about close stalkers, but if you're that humble person, you would understand that guys have read your book and they wanted to meet you and talk to you. So that was like my first red flag way back when. That was in 2018. So I was able to kind of step back. But, you're talking to a guy that was in that cult, man. Again, I'm not going to take away anybody that's actually helped men. I do think he has, and I think his I think he was genuine at first, but I think it's now all about the dollars.
Thank you for your question, Shade. I got to give Az Varun a chance to ask a question, say a comment, or say a grievance. How are you doing, Az Varun?
Okay.
Yeah, cam up, man. Come on. I want to see your hair.
It doesn't need to cam up, but
I'm joking.
And no, I mean, I have no questions. I just I just wanted to jump on the panel. That's it. There's nothing for me to ask. Actually.
All right. Is there anyone in the chat that's trying to hop on? Otherwise, we'll go into some final words. We'll give you a little comment here, a little chance. We'll play a little meme in here. Let's play a little meme here to give people a chance.
Every hole's a go.
All right. And based on what I've seen, it looks like no one's begging to hop on the panel, looking at the chat. So I think we'll head into some final words here. I think I'm going to start with Shade. Welcome. Do you have any final words for the panel?
Final words, or could I just ask a small question?
I'll let you ask one question, and I'll have it as your final words. How's that sound?
All right, that's fine, thanks. So Tony, you've got a brother. I've got a brother myself. Our relationship, it's kind of rocky. Haven't seen him in almost 3 years. Any kind of advice with a younger brother?
Wow, man, that's a tough one. I'm kind of going through that myself right now. So there's one thing we used to joke about. I got two real good friends of mine, and we're kind of always off and on. But one of the things that we'll say to each other is, you know what, I'm going to be the bigger man and reach out. So maybe be the bigger man and reach out to him. You know, sometimes you got to just let things die, man. Some of these arguments and disagreements that we all have, you just have to let them go. You know, life is short. There's no reason to hang on to anger and hate. There just isn't. You can, you know, extend that olive branch. If they don't accept it, well, there's nothing you can do about it. But always try to just be the bigger man. For me, I think that's the best thing you can do.
Shay, did that answer your question well?
Yeah, that was perfect. Thanks.
Perfect. I'm going to drop you down because someone else is trying to hop on. Thank you for coming on the Vital Message, and your questions were great. Now we got, I don't necessarily want to kick him because he might not be able to come back. Actually, yeah, if I kick him, he can come back. That's good. All right. And now, whoever was trying to hop on, we'll welcome you in for a final question, a buzzer beater comment.
Buzzer beater. I like that.
Little buzzer beater in here. All right. Someone got a little shy here. Well, we'll do some final words from someone else as we wait. Let's get some words from, let's do Muhammad. What are your final words?
No, man, it's always good to be here. Great to be in great company. Thank you very much. I learn from everybody. Everybody is essentially my teacher in a way or another. So it's awesome. Thank you very much for having me.
All right, thanks for coming on, man. I always like your insights. And our guest is here. Our guest made it. Let me put up a shield because you can never be too careful. Nixon Talks, welcome to the stream.
I don't want to say that laptop, man. Please stop doing that.
Hey, we gotta shield ourselves from all the cocks.
All the shields. I was just listening to the show. Always a pleasure hearing you direct a stream of such astute standards. A little play on words there for a shift. But Tony, Bruno, just quickly, man, how have you found the last 9 months based on everything that's gone on with newcomers coming back, some new altogether? How have you found the whole experience in the last 9 months? Has anything really changed your perception of what you thought was, or have things really shifted in a new direction for you?
Yeah, and before you answer that, don't talk about your illegitimate children.
Don't have any, mate. Don't know what you're talking about.
I'm not sure if I'm understanding the question, man.
So in the last 9 months, we've seen a lot of things happen, manosphere-wise, controversies and all sorts of stuff like that. But because you do things yourself, have you noticed a change for the better or the worse?
I really think it's for the better. I really do. I think that, you know that word fraud and whatever has been. I think guys need to be called out. I think if you're creating content and you're not congruent, I think congruency is important. If you're not congruent with your message, man, get the fuck off YouTube and stop taking guys' money. I mean, that seems to be the biggest gripe on YouTube right now.
Yeah.
You know, we've got the whole thing with, Donovan and a child now and single mom and blah blah blah, and it's like, bro, like, you've been bagging on single moms for how long, and now how can you take advice from somebody that is not living the life they say they are? I just don't get it. And you know what happens is guys get so invested. Guys get so invested in these content creators. They really do. They get so invested in that. And they just don't want to believe that they're not living that life.
Funny you say that. That was going to be my quick follow-up, because a lot of people do tend to see what they're looking at, and it's like, yes, this is the guy, I want to be like him. And like you said, when you put all your chips in, when everything you've got is put on this one bet hitting, and when it doesn't hit, you have to say to yourself, nah, it's a lie. Like, you have to convince yourself that it wasn't it, like there's more to it. Now, I refuse to believe it. And that's where people start getting themselves in a bit of a in a spot of bother, because they think to themselves, well, I've put all this time and effort into this, and in some cases money. I can't let go of this quote unquote investment, because what if it actually does pay out, or they want to believe that there's actually something in it for them.
That's you nailed the word right there. Believe, man. Everybody wants to believe in something, and it's hard when you believed in something, or you're trying something, you're making a pivot in your life, and you've invested in the wrong person. And I get it. It's tough, man. Every guy on this panel has been through that with a woman. You've invested, whether it doesn't have to be dollars, but you've invested part of your heart into something, and it doesn't pay out. But sometimes it's better to walk away. And it's not easy, man. It's not easy. We have that with family. We have that with friends. It's not easy. When you invest your time and energy and everything you have into someone and they let you down, that's a tough one. It's a tough one for anyone.
Yeah.
But
it's like they say, wasted time. That's what it really comes down to. It's the time you put into it. Money you can argue either way, but for me, it's time. Investing a lot of time into something that doesn't pay out, or it's nothing they actually thought it was. That would be the killer for me.
And that's ego. That's pride. That's ego, man. Is what that is. Nobody wants to be wrong, right? Think about it. Who wants to be wrong? Nobody. That's a tough one.
Appreciate it. Caduceus, you can drop me backstage if someone else wants to jump on. I'll keep paying attention to the rest of the stream.
Yeah. Like the idea of it is that I have 10 slots, including backstage slots. So there's one open slot if whoever was trying to join earlier wants to join now.
Yeetus, get in, Yeetus. Come on, man.
Get in if you would like to come in. We're gonna go into final words otherwise. I'm gonna keep surveying final words from here on out. I'll get some from Gauss Newton.
Okay. First thing I want to say is congrats on Caduceus on the stream. Respect. And I also want to say thanks to Bruno for giving me some really good advice about my friend. The one thing that I like about Bruno is that he just doesn't stop at like game is bullshit. He actually tries to help with solutions, and the advice that you gave me about offering support instead of advice has been really helpful. So thanks.
Great, thanks for coming on, man. I'll just put you backstage for now. And then,
that's cool, man. Boss was backstage a few weeks ago, man. We had great conversation, man. Good guy. Really good.
It sounds like he's got a lot of insight about Miami clubs. I'm going to get some words from the Deacon, David Little. Is he awake?
Let me tell you, baby. I may have wined and dined like Tony Bruno with kings and queens. I remember living in the back alley eating a can of pork and beans, baby. Because he is a survivor. I enjoyed this stream. Thank you, Caduceus, for having me up here. Everyone, shout out to the Vital Message, man. Dude, definitely doing big things. Tony Bruno, man. You are basically the Switzerland of the manosphere, dude. No guns drawn, no swords pulled. Everybody, let's agree and not disagree. Let's come to an actual, to head. But I appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me up here, guys. And definitely salute to you. Salve, Tony Bruno.
Salve, David Little. Thank you, man.
Thanks for coming on, David. Yeah, I'll just finish up these final words. Let's get some from Blaxican on IG. He's in Taiwan. Some final words.
Hey, Vital. Once again, thank you for taking care of us. You really know how to make the panel and the guests feel at home, man. Tony Bruno, man. Like, with Tony, you get what you get, man. A man of integrity. And, man, I really admire the way he does things. The setup he's made in his life, his business. He got his beautiful home. He got this amazing stream he has every week. He's just a good guy, man. I'm really happy I got a chance to befriend him. And subscribe and watch his videos. Also, too, like we were talking about astrology earlier, today is the first day that Mercury is direct, meaning that all this bullshit that seems to be happening, communication follow-ups, and that shit's supposed to stop. So good time to take a breath, have a good conversation with somebody you love or like. And check out my channel, Black Stick in Taiwan. Peace.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Yeah, you nailed that one again, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I'd like to get some final words from Azvaroon.
I mean, like, I was just happy to be on the show, and whatever beef you have with MD, I hope it gets squashed, and I hope all of you just get together and like, I hope everyone like, what do you say, resumes things like the way it was before, and I hope there's peace between all of you guys. And thanks for having me on the show. Thanks for like, yeah, and whatever Tony said, like, it was also quite informative.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on, Azvaroon. Peace is always a good option. Like, honestly, like, I don't see a reason to go after him, or like there's some things that, like, if people want me to clear my name over, I can. But I think we were having a great discussion tonight. So
Absolutely.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
All right, then we get some final words from Uncle Guns.
Well. No, I mean, you know, I always say this, but what can I say that hasn't been said? You know, great show. Good to see you back. Love the vital message. Caduceus is always a great platform. Love this format. You know, who better to return guest than the man himself? I mean, you know, I think, again, I'll just reiterate what I said. I think it's going to be, you know, we got a long road ahead, and we need older guys that have been there and have more of a level, have more of that experience. And, you know, everybody said some great things. And, you know, one thing I really wanted to say on the way out is, you know, a couple other people said it tonight. You get what you get with Tony. And a lot of people in the manosphere talk about authenticity. You know, you talk about the genuine article, and that's the great Tony Bruno. I mean, there's no punches pulled, no bullshit. You know, he's definitely a man that you can trust. He's, you know, and if there's an ordeal, he'll tell you about it, you know. But other than that, great show. Look forward to more of these shows. Look forward to, you know, more content from Tony. And, you know, what I'll use Tony's favorite. I'll use Caduceus and Tony's favorite. Sometimes it's better to draw your secondary than it is to reload your primary. Carry 2 tourniquets, and always tell the bad guys, don't make me make you have a bad day. Thanks, man.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, Uncle Guns. I was hoping you were going to bring up the tourniquets.
Thanks.
All right, we got some final words. Yeah, let's do Nixon. You weren't on for very long, but you get some final words.
What else can I say, man? Just to appreciate the content there. Self plug, if I may.
Sure. Yeah,
I got
as long as you eat this cheese I have on the table, go for it.
Please, mozzarella Swiss only, or maybe even a brie. Brie goes good with crackers, I hear. I just got a birthday stream, which will be tomorrow morning for me. It would be tonight for you guys, or what would that be? Friday night for you guys. So if anyone's free, jump on the channel, come in, have a chat, we'll have a bit of a laugh. It's a birthday stream, so I don't know what's going to happen, but there's no set format, but you're welcome to come on and have a laugh.
Yeah,
all right.
Happy birthday,
on, man. Happy birthday. And don't wake up in a ditch. All right. Now we got QB Passport flexing.
QB.
Well, Tony, it's definitely been an honor. Again, much respect for you and what you do. Like I said, that stream was epic that I was on with the dating coaches. And yeah, you know, since we're growing, everyone has like a channel now. Like, I will do my best to make it to your streams on Thursdays. You know, as a new content creator, it's all about balance, creating content, going on panels, learn Spanish, staying active in the gym. So it's a lot, but I just want to say is thank you for allowing us, and when I mean us is, you know, Black Pillars, to be part of your platform.
Absolutely.
And you get to hear from our side, and you have guys that are black pill and have different messages and different channels, including myself. So with that said, definitely sub to the channel if you're new. QB Passport Flexing, recent video on Mexico City, and I got some other videos down the pipeline.
Yeah,
Cool. I like your videos, man. I like your IG stories too, bro. They're always good.
Yeah, keep sharing that travel knowledge. I like to say QB Passport Flexing, what TripAdvisor won't tell you.
Exactly.
That's what I like to say. Hey, you should brand that. Like, go for it. Go for it, man. Take that.
Credit to the vital message.
Hey, I don't even need credit as long as that gets popping. That'd be great.
Right.
Oh, yeah, more
Oh no,
words.
that's
My
it.
bad.
I'm done. I'll see y'all later.
Catch you later. Yeah. Hey, Tony, you got some final words. The guest of honor right here.
Yeah, man. Caduceus, thanks for having me on, man. This really was an honor. I appreciate that somebody would really just make the show about me, which is kind of it's kind of weird for me, but I appreciate that, man. I appreciate all the support that guys give me. It's awesome. The community that's here is a lot of you guys have been just incredible friends, not just acquaintances, but friends. And we all reach out to each other. We all chat offline. And to me, that's important. It's a real world experience. One thing I do want to say is, it's came up with the Tony pill a long time ago, and that's the 3 A's. That's adapt. And Shift really talks about that. Adapt or die. I talked about that. And we say adapt, not adopt, adapt to the truth. It's really important that you do that. Hold yourself accountable, man. Hold yourself accountable. No one can hold you accountable. There's a lot of these groups that people say, we're going to hold you accountable. But you know what? Hold yourself accountable first. That's most important. And the last A, there's 3 A's, is authenticity, man. Be authentic. Lose that fucking mask, man. If you don't lose that mask, somebody's going to fucking rip it off. That's just the way it is. That's reality. And that's your, Thursday night is my reality check. But that's your reality check. Lose your fucking mask, man. Stop being who you're not. It doesn't pay in the end. Just be authentic. Be yourself. Everybody wants to believe in something. The main thing you have to believe in is yourself, man. Believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody else is going to believe in you. Be true to yourself. I've enjoyed this a lot. It's really cool, man. What a great group of guys. Caduceus, one of the best, if not the best host on YouTube, man.
Oh, thanks, man. There's a lot of hosts out there.
Yeah.
And sometimes I got to interview the interviewer. You kind of tried to start interviewing me at some point, and I had to shut that down.
Yeah.
we gotta learn more about you.
Sometime. In fact, I'd love to have you on my channel sometimes and chat with you about your life experiences, man.
Hey, we could do that.
And there's, the thing is, I think guys got to realize, you're a young dude, but you do have a lot of wisdom. And wisdom doesn't always come from experience. Sometimes it just comes natural. There's certain people that you can relate to. Somebody had said to me here a while ago, and it kind of irritated me that, oh, you should hang out with your peers. Yeah, I'm a little bit older, but to me, you know who my peers are? Just other men. Doesn't matter what your age is. It just has to do with men. Those are my peers. So it doesn't matter what your age is, what you got going on. Look for other men that you can relate to, talk to, and but believe in yourself and adapt to the truth. Again, that's just adapting to the truth is so important. Hold yourself accountable and be authentic. Get rid of that mask, man. You're going to be better off. And let me tell you something. Everybody falls back. Okay, when I say fall back, everybody falls back to that where you think you're weak or something like that. But that weakness will only last a little bit. It's not going to last forever. So don't be too hard on yourself, but do hold yourself accountable. That's it.
Thanks for coming on, man. It's always a pleasure. I'll be seeing you on your show. Hopefully, I'll be seeing you on my show, or maybe some random streams in the future.
Yeah.
Cheers, man.
Cheers. Thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate you.
Hey, always a pleasure, man. All right. That's all the final words right there. Thank you, everyone in the chat, for coming through. This was a fun stream. Next stream, we might have an interview next week. There are a couple people I need to email, and it's definitely going to be interesting. The only thing confirmed we have is on June 10th, we have the Astrology stream where we get to our birth charts read. We got myself. I think we got Tony, Deacon Little, maybe Shift, a few Self-Made, Blaxican, a few others. Should be a fun stream, whether you believe in the astrology or not. It's just going to be lots of goofs and gaffs and be a great time. We would love to have you for it. Now, I agree with Asvarun's sentiment. It's good to have peace and not continued beef. But I did find this video a little bit funny, so I am going to play it as my outro. Cheers, everybody.
We saw a big, strong guy that looks like he's on steroids buckle. You guys buckled him the other day. I would have liked to seen Caduceus grow a pair of balls and buckle him as well and stop hiding in the fucking behind the curtain and let QB do it and shit like that for him. You know, it would have been better. It just shows me that, okay, maybe he needs to mature more. Because when you don't have to work for a living, or you never went through some hardship, that adversity tempers you. You've been through it. I've been through it. The guys that haven't been through it, some of them can still get there by looking at the examples. But when they don't have that, or maybe when they're kind of spoiled, you know, I can sense that. I can smell it through the internet. I can look at their actions and see it. And I'm going to keep hammering on their ass until they either mature or they break. One or the other.
It's over, my friend. Let's face it, you've lost.